He's one of the dopest engineers in the game. The head engineer exclusively a prodigy of Mobb Deep. 10 prodigy of Mobb Deep albums. The Hegelian Dialectic. The Book of Revelation.
It's a pleasure, man. That body of work is crazy. I mean,
Joe the engineer. Now we do this shit, nigga.
333, 33.
That's a sign from the heavens. Just look up in the heavens, in the heavens.
333. Joe in that next room sparking. That next room sparking.
That's a sign from the heavens, in the heavens, in the heavens.
333. Joe in that next room sparking. That next room sparking.
In the heavens, in the heavens, in the heavens.
333.
That's a sign from the heavens. Just look up in the heavens, in the heavens.
Where the fucking weed at? Dopest engineers in the game. One of the dopest engineers in the game.
What the fuck is up? It is time to talk about some football, smoke some blunts. Well, I hope that my distinguished co-host will make an appearance tonight. That would be fun. I have been flying pretty fucking solo on these missions lately, including postponing our broadcast until 9 o'clock. But I'm in here. Welcome everybody, Vegas. Flea, what up, homie? Yeah, John Gruden's never getting a job in football again after all that shit that came out, because every email that they read, this idiot says something else that is just like, it just shows you, like, you know, a glimpse into his personality as a human being and whatnot. Nah, Gruden won Tony Dungy's Super Bowl. That was Tony Dungy's team. Gruden just showed up and they won a Super Bowl. Now, the players that were on that team will even tell you that the team ran that team. You know, it's like when Barry Switzer showed up and won Super Bowls for Dallas. Won a Super Bowl for Dallas. Like, no, that was Jimmy Johnson's team. Nah, Vegas, see, they wanted to leak that shit because they just weren't liking where things were going. And there's only one way to get out of that contract without legal liability, and that's to be fired for a cause. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. So, they were looking for a way to get out of that contract without having to pay him. Now, the ironic thing about this is, I don't know if anybody actually leaked these emails, because the story is unfolding in front of our eyes that these emails were actually uncovered during an investigation into the Washington football team. And Dan Snyder, in that time period that him and Jay Gruden were like going on yachts with naked strippers and, you know, making the cheerleaders take naked pictures and shit like that. So, one thing I didn't even think of is Jay Gruden went through that shit already, and now John's going through that shit. So, what kind of person was old Pops Gruden, huh? Seems like he was a fucking dickhead, because both of your sons are assholes. Both of your sons had one of the 32 most highly coveted head coaching positions in all of sports. And both of them dicked it away by being assholes. I'm blaming their pops. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Carrie knows we're starting at 9. I know Roger Harper is busy until 9:30, so this might facilitate him and his schedule a little bit more conducively. And the Jets suck, so I don't think we're ever going to hear from Nice again. No, John Gruden's never getting another job in the NFL. He won't get a job as an analyst. He won't get a job in the NFL. He just needs to... I mean, even if he owns like restaurants or bars or something, he needs to sell them shits. He's as toxic as you can get in the sports world right now. Like 100% toxic. Yo, right now, O.J. Simpson has a better shot at getting a job in the NFL than John Gruden. Like, it's like Chappelle said, you can get away with murdering somebody, but you better not offend the wrong community. And John Gruden just offended multiple communities. Like, multiple. Yo, he said DeMaurice Smith tires look like the Michelin Man. His lips look like Michelin Man tires. No, Flea, I actually think Carr will start playing better because him and Gruden never really got along. Gruden did not like Derek Carr. He liked Mariota, but Mariota got hurt. Yo, he looks like Mark Davis' son. Mark Davis... Yo, how the fuck you a billionaire and your hair looks like that? See, that's what the problem is with having too much money. Everyone around you is afraid to tell you that you look stupid. Look at that dude's goddamn haircut. Look at his fucking haircut. And tell me that he's a billionaire. Like, you got so much money that everyone's afraid to tell you that you look stupid. Like, where's his friends at? Where's his homies who are just like, yo... Mark, you see yourself in the mirror, homie? I don't think Gruden's actually racist. To be honest with you. I know too many people that are like that. And Billy Lons, what up, homie? So, the NFL locker room is probably one of the least racist places on the planet. Because nobody gives a fuck what color, where you came from, what religion you are, even your sexuality at this point. Like, there's gay players openly in the NFL. They don't fucking care. They only care as, can you play and are you helping this team? That's it. That's all anyone fucking cares about. So, it's always been like that. In every locker room, it's just like, yeah, no, yo, motherfucker can play or he can't play. That's it. There's only one metric. Now, that doesn't excuse NFL owners from being old racist pieces of shit, because most of them are. But with Gruden, come on, dude, he played football his whole life. He was a college quarterback at... It was like Liberty or something like that for 2 years. And then he's been in the NFL his entire fucking professional career. Now, if he were an absolute racist, he wouldn't have lasted this long. He wouldn't have got a $100 million contract. He wouldn't have been on ESPN for a decade. He's just... Exactly, Flea, but this is not the time period for shtick if you're an asshole. Now, we're not discounting the fact that he's a fucking dickhead. There's a lot of his former players are like, yeah, he's a dick. So we know that about him. But that doesn't make him racist. Do I think he's racist? Not any more than I think my dad's racist. My dad just turned 79. He grew up in the mountains of West Virginia. He's not racist, but he might say some dumbass shit every once in a while. It's just, I think it's impossible for you to be, if you've ever been in a football locker room, for you to be in a football environment around that many professionals and that many people and that many walks of life, and for you to actually be racist and to survive. Yeah, his Flea, you already know his personality. He says he never stops talking. He never stops talking. Now, he did say, what did he say about, Sam's? He said the Rams shouldn't focus on getting queers in the NFL or something stupid like that. And now, mind you, he wasn't even a coach when he said all this shit. He was just a citizen. He was an analyst. He worked for ESPN. I mean, this just goes to show you anything that you say, social media, email, text, even calls, anything that you say that isn't face-to-face can't be used against you at some point, and it will. So Vegas, he claimed that a term where he's from called rubber lipping means that you're constantly lying. And that's what he was actually referring to. He's like, I have no problem with DeMarcus Smith being black. I just have a problem with them always lying. The way he handled the press conference also lets me know this guy's not actually racist, because you could tell he wasn't guilty. Like, guilty people tend to try to change the narrative. Why would I ever do that? That doesn't make any sense. Innocent people will just straight up tell you, nah, I didn't do that shit. What the fuck you talking about? And defend themselves instead of trying to repaint the narrative in some way that's more beneficial to them. He went in the press conference just like, I'm not racist. What are we talking about here? Like, this is stupid. I've never been, like, come on. That right there, as soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh, man. He's just, he's in his 60s. He's got to be 60-something. So he's just a relic of a bygone era. Like, look, he used email to communicate. Who the fuck does that? Old people use email. It's not... Kids don't do that. None of his players are emailing each other. Like, let's be serious about this. It's some old people shit. Now, the fact that he got caught up in the investigation into what was going on in Washington is a very, very bad sign for the Washington football team. The Raiders, who have gone by the motto of just win, baby, since Al Davis founded that team, got rid of Gruden less than 24 hours after this shit came out. Shit came out, bam, he's gone. Out of here, get out of here. Now, it doesn't help that the Raiders went out and laid an absolute fucking egg on Sunday. That doesn't help at all, because then the ownership can look at it and be like, yo, you lost the team. You got to go, Hobie. Now, they didn't fire him. They made him resign. That's all that legal shit. It means they're probably going to still give him money. So they're basically paying him to go away at this point. I mean, I hope we can make that shit last, because John Gruden, RIP to your NFL career, homie, because it is over. You'll be hard-pressed to get a job in college somewhere right now. He might have to go coach high school football in some place that's still kind of backwards. Like, fucking, I don't even know where. I don't even know if those places still exist anymore. Fucking nuts. The new coach is one of their coordinators. I've never heard of this guy before. The investigators did claim that they have 650,000 emails from the Washington investigation to go through, and these were just part of them. I'm imagining that this won't be the first domino that falls in the NFL. I'm imagining you might see some people resign or just quietly go away without headlines or news about it. And that'll be part of the like a condition of their release. They won't be able to sue as long as their team doesn't say why they resigned, shit like that. So these people will end up resigning, making a deal with their team, signing a non-disclosure form that neither side can say anything about it, and then they'll just quietly go away. And that'll also enable them, since the team will have a non-disclosure agreement with them, that executive will be able to go somewhere else and get a job, and then nobody might ever find out that they were part of some fucked up shit that was going on in behind the scenes in NFL circles. Nuts, man. It's nuts. Highly coveted positions. I just don't understand the hubris involved. Like, I don't think I ever once took for granted, and if I did, I must have been high. Working for P and working with P. Like, I understood very early on how many people wanted to have that job and how fortunate I was to be in the position that I was in and to have that opportunity. Alchemist is the one who really drove the point home the day before P got out. He looked at me and he said, "We have to outwork everyone." And I looked at him like, "You fucking Alchemist, dude. What are you talking about?" He said, "P's coming home. Everybody wants to send beats to P. And every engineer wants to record them. And we got these jobs. We got to outwork everyone." And I never forgot that, ever. I still talk about it. That was a decade ago, probably, maybe even more. Very impactful statement. So if you have a job as like a head coach of the NFL team, you're getting paid $100 million. Even though the stuff came out from when he was an analyst. When he was an analyst, he was probably actually making more than he was as a coach. As an analyst, he was probably making like $20 million a year. So, regardless, a job with, family-altering money. It's got to be hubris. These people feel like they're untouchable. They've had to have been getting away with similar types of behavior and whatnot their entire lives and careers, and nobody ever checked them because, politicians do that shit all the time. Just like, everybody's paying attention to you. Why would you say or do the things that you just said and did? Well, it's because there's never been consequences or repercussions for any of their actions. So, fucking nuts, man. This shit is so crazy. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Alright, let me pull up this article and see some of the things that this guy actually said. YouTube will probably ban me for repeating some of the things that John Gruden says. YouTube, I did not say, these are not my words. This is a football reaction show, and we are reacting to huge NFL football news. He's 58. 650,000 emails to go through. Well, he called Roger Goodell a British cigarette. That's all I can say, because YouTube will definitely ban me for saying that word. He went off on the St. Louis Rams and Jeff Fisher for drafting a queer, a.k.a. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Sams. Michael Sam. He was complaining about player protests at NFL female executives and female referees. I mean, honestly, these are old, white, rich people who have been rich and powerful for a very long time. I don't expect anything different from them. Wiz, what up, homie? Now, it would surprise me if he didn't say shit like that. You know, it's like Bill Burr said when Duck Dynasty got canceled for saying that he didn't like gay people and whatnot. And people were shocked that man didn't like gay people. Really? You're really shocked that a man whose entire life profession is duck hunting, who has a beard this long, who wears camouflage on a daily basis, and spends his days in a boat in the swamps shooting at ducks. You didn't think he might, and he's like 60-something, you didn't think he might say some dumb racist shit at some point? How are you shocked? Now, the article goes on to question, like, who's his audience that he can speak to like this? Well, clearly it's NFL executives and owners. These are old, rich white people who have lived inside their bubble their entire lives. The majority of them. And even if it's, like, children of owners, you know, they grew up as their parents were their dads owns an NFL team. You don't think that you're not growing up privileged? There we go. There we go. Now we can get into it. Yo. I almost wore the orange on black shirt today. We would have matched. That would have been real gay, as John Gruden says.
Oh, yeah. What would I call him? Chucky Bigot.
All right, so I've been talking about this because I could talk about this at length without actually talking about football.
Yeah.
So, do I think John Gruden is racist? No, I don't. Do I think he's an old asshole? Yes, 100%. 100%. Clearly doesn't like women having jobs and shit like that. He's one of those guys, doesn't like gay people. Do I think he's actually racist? No, I don't. I think it's impossible to have that long of an NFL career and not be an owner and actually be racist and to have survived. Because that's what I told Kerry before you got in here.
Mm-hmm.
A football locker room is the least racist place on the planet.
Sure.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Like, regardless of what people feel like, they come together. Like, trust me, I played with dudes who are down with some shit that I'd be like, outside of the field, I would whoop their ass. On the field, together as a team, hey, we fam.
That's what I just said. Like, in the locker room, can you play? Are you contributing? That's the only things that matter. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And if you aren't on that page, you won't last as a team member. So, like, it will never happen. So, he played, high school. He played quarterback in college at like Liberty or Maine or something like that. I don't know.
It was, I forget the name of it right now, but the coach Brandon Staley also went there and was better than Gruden at whatever this college was. That's slipping my mind.
So yeah, Gruden's career is over. He'll never get hired by anyone ever again. So now the interesting thing is, Kerry, they weren't investigating Gruden.
I know. They were investigating the Bigums. Yeah.
They were investigating the time, and I forgot to draw the parallel between the two. The time in the Washington Red Wolves franchise when his brother was their fucking head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm blaming their dad. Their dad's an old piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
Because both of them they're both exactly the same. Misogynistic.
And you see how he would handle the quarterback situation, how he would throw players under the bus. Like, it was the little brother was even more fucked up. He was an asshole.
That's because he saw the older brother go raised that way. The pops had to have been the same way.
Sure.
So another thing that makes me feel like he's not an actual racist. He's just an old piece of shit who will say some old racist shit. Did you see the press conference?
When he was just like, yeah, I talked about it, I'm done.
No, when he actually was just like tried to explain.
Oh, nah.
First of all, his explanations kind of hilarious, which is a reason why they were just like, you got to go, dude. Zero remorse.
Right.
No accountability.
Oh, is that when he was like, yeah, that was like a long time ago. I can't remember. I
don't
know.
So the way that he said it, he said, what are you kidding? I'm not racist. Like, what? Are we serious here? So, if he were, he would have tried to deflect and been like, that doesn't make any sense, and try to question the narrative and whatnot. He instantly was just like, no, what are you talking about? I was just like, yeah, see, he's just an old white dude. You guys just don't know people like him and like his dad, because once I drew the parallel between, I forgot about Jay Gruden, because his career's been over because of the dumb shit he did over there.
But Jay was partying with the owner, which is why he got away. The Snyder rules.
And
you know what I'm saying?
John Gruden, these emails were to Paul Allen.
Right.
Who was the GM at
Bruce Allen.
Well, yeah, whoever the GM of the Red Wolves was at that time, or team president was Bruce Allen. Yeah. Which is hilarious, this 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that's going on in this investigation. Now, you and I both know, and I said it before you got on here, this is not the only domino that's going to fall.
It can't be. He wasn't sending them damn emails to himself. And the length of time that it happened, they were responding.
It was years.
You know what I'm saying?
Years.
Saying whatever. There are thousands of emails. Thousands.
Kerry, 650,000.
Oh, Jesus. From like 2011 to 2018. To 2018.
Yeah, there's over 500,000, so people are going to get caught up in this. Now, what I said is you're going to see people no longer employed, but it's not going to come out in headlines because there's going to be non-disclosures signed. Teams
so that they can get hired elsewhere?
Exactly, so they can go on and they won't sue the team, for their contract or whatever. They'll allow them to leave cleanly and go get a job somewhere else. It'll all just be swept under the rug and made as clean as possible. Because trust me, the NFL wants this to go away as quickly as it showed up.
Go away.
Because, hey, NFL ratings this year, up 17% across the board. Huge boost again. And you got to think, you would think there's people going to games now.
I'm saying they were thirsting,
but last year you thought there would be thirsting for viewership, but there was so much bullshit going on around the game of NFL football that it turned people off. People were like, I don't even want to watch this shit right now. This year, they just went back to playing football.
Yeah.
There's no, they don't even do the national anthem before games right now. It's just like, let's just go play football. Let's get it done.
As it should be.
As it always was until,
until they got the military contracts.
Exactly.
They never did that shit before. Never. Nobody does that in any other sport. They just don't do it.
No, you only do it when you win in the Olympics.
Right.
So, there's going to be, a lot of people lose their jobs. and they're going to clean house. So, I mean, as long the NFL, especially on the executive level, and I don't know how many coaches might end up like, oh shit. I think it's going to be more the executive level that's going to fall.
It has to be the executive level.
So now, I always look at it as like a fake push for diversity in the NFL because
black ownership. Oh yeah, I'm like watch me see our first black owner in like.
Well now,
2023.
Well now you're going to see a lot of voids opened up. And it won't necessarily be like a GM job. It'll be lower executive positions that are going to open up. And what better time for diversity now, NFL? Female executives, minority executives, anybody but the people who have been getting the same goddamn jobs perpetually. Oh, they just go from team to team to team to team to team.
That's it.
It's like Catholic priest. Oh, you touch boys here, we'll just move you to fucking Spain and not tell anybody.
Now, if I'm Diddy, I'm calling him on the phone. I'm like, yo, let's get this group together again. We scooping one of these squads. Straight up.
Well, I think if this has happened so quickly, how long do you think that Dan Snyder's going to be able to own this team after everything's revealed?
Listen, his Teflon has to have worn through at this point. Like, come on now. It's the same franchise with the same owner with bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. Come on now. What does he have on the other owners is what I'm starting to think. Because he just keeps surviving somehow.
Yeah,
and out, and they actually made it possible for him to get minority ownership of the team. What?
Yeah, the shit's
when he was losing sponsorships, FedEx was like, peace.
No, the shit's incredible. So that would be the first team that I would see available. And then also the Chargers, because the Spanos family has just fucked up that whole situation. They destroyed, there's like $200 million in debt or something like that. They're going to have to sell that team, which is
crazy.
Is crazy because that team is absolutely fucking loaded right now. Loaded.
Yeah. Their offense is special. I mean, obviously, you know who the studs are on defense. You got Derwin James and you got Bosa. There is one linebacker of note. His name is slipping my mind right now. But, I mean, to me, that's still their Achilles heel.
Kaiser White is balling right now.
Well, he's nice, yeah.
Asante Samuel Jr. is playing really well on the corner.
Is he hurt? Or is he?
I think he's... I don't know.
He's okay? You know who I was thinking of? I was thinking of J.C. Horn. Yeah,
J.C. Horn's hurt. Asante Samuel Jr. playing really well. Derwin James healthy.
Yes, balling. Like
and
he does.
Their other defensive end, not Bosa, the other dude, I can't remember his name. You get a lot of opportunities and one-on-ones with that guy on the other side, and he's taking advantage of it right now. So that's why I texted you. I was like, wow, their defense is really fast. They're fast on every level, and this is the new NFL defense where Kaiser White, who was a safety in college, at 219 pounds still, he's beefed up to 219, is now a middle linebacker in the modern-day NFL.
Same thing with Jonathan Abram on the Raiders, which is why I was like, they were getting a bunch of high-profile safeties just so they could turn them into linebackers, really.
Yeah.
They'll keep a couple at safety and just move the rest of the linebacker, and you just have speed everywhere.
Well, then also, when you go into a dime, you have these, like, hybrids now. You got basically are putting 3 strong safeties on the field and allow them to fill in the gap.
Well, which is why it was easy for Dallas to get rid of Smith, because now you got Micah Parsons who can fly all over the place. He can put his hand in the dirt and rush, and he can also drop back and cover. And, Smith couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, he couldn't, but that's a big pickup for...
Also, his awareness was always shaky. Fast and athletic, but his awareness...
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pickup for somebody else who is in need. No, I know. It would have been a good pickup for anybody, is what I'm saying. It's a good. Yeah, he was a good pickup because he is young and athletic. You're right, though. Kind of had the J.B. Collins effect. Like, you're just really a freak of nature. That's the only reason you're out here right now, because you kind of just, you're not playing football. You're just kind of like just being an athlete out here. So I would have seen, Jalen Smith going to the Pats. Wouldn't have surprised me at all. But the Packers do need help on defense. The Chiefs really need fucking help on defense. Their defense is abysmal.
Fucking atrocious.
Abysmal. We'll get to that, though. But
we've been saying that, though. It's just like, it's a shame. It's like, when you see that, when you see one part of your team so lacking, then you start feeling sorry for the stud players, because you feel like their careers are being wasted. I mean, you felt the same way about Megatron, Barry Sanders, when you just, these players that are generational players. I mean, granted, at least Mahomes has made it to 2 Super Bowls and got him one, but think about it. I mean, he could have gone to 3 straight. It was defensive deficiencies and also an obliterated offensive line, but he could have gone to 3 straight to start his career. Tell me another quarterback who has done that. 3 straight to start your career?
I can give you one that went to. I'll give you one that went to 3 out of 4, but not 3 straight.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
So it's hilarious. I was just thinking about this because it kind of toppled. Oh, you can't really see it. Yeah, you can. It's right there. I got a Tom Brady statue. You can kind of see that line. It's the one with 3. This is hilarious. This is why I bring it up. 3 Super Bowl titles. So there's 3 rings that he's standing on, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at that, and this is way back. Clearly I've been saying Tom Brady's the GOAT since way before then, and my brother bought me that. He would never have bought me that if I wouldn't have been Tom Brady obsessed. And I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm thinking, since this trophy, this little figurine, he's won 4 more Super Bowls.
And he's balling
right now. Just
stupid.
He's playing inside of the pocket like he's 6 or 7 years old. He's absorbing hits and getting the ball away. He's taking off and running right now, which is always hilarious to watch.
Always hilarious.
There'll not be another person. There won't be another him. And I'm not even talking about like the victories, just the ability to play at this level. He's 44 fucking years old.
Yeah.
And he's playing better during this run, the last 4 years, than he ever has. Only Warren Moon was slinging it that effectively above 40, because Brett Favre was just throwing turnovers.
I mean, Warren Moon, I'm sure like fucking 60, Warren Moon still has the prettiest ball. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. There's a guy.
I mean, I'm saying like, especially like a 60, I bet you he could still sling that.
Of course.
Thing.
He'll never not have a perfect spiral.
Perfect spiral. I just see, and it pisses me off because think about the 5-6 wasted years he had in Canada. Now he won some chips, and they don't bring the Canadian stats down. If they had, he was the leader in professional football passing yards for a long time. He's going to be passed now overall just because of the way the game has changed. But he was that for a long time.
It's the Josh Gibson effect.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. How many home runs would he have crushed?
I mean, he hit 840, I think was the number as a professional. That's
I'm ridiculous like
that. It was almost 200 more than Babe Ruth had hit as a professional.
And Satchel Paige, how many wins would he have gotten? You know what I mean? Because he was got his shot in his 40s and was throwing shutouts. You know what I mean? Ridiculous.
That's back when people were throwing both sides of a doubleheader.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and throw 17 innings today.
Because they couldn't. Yeah. You stayed in there. There was no let's go to the bullpen. No. You stay your ass in. Mad complete games.
Ridiculous. There is another guy that throws a ball that it's never not perfect.
Herbert.
So Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz played Carson Wentz football last night. That's Carson Wentz style football. Like, I like it, but it's hard to stay healthy playing like that.
Absolutely.
He was very accurate in putting the ball in a spot where it was only his receiver who could get it, or leading them to where they could continue, which I'm big on. Everything was like here. They were all fluttering, though. They were all...
Yeah, I know. He got one to my guy Pitts, where Pitts mossed that dude and got into the end zone. Give me that. I call those the gimme that's. Give me that.
That was disrespectful what he did.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And then drug his teammate into the end zone.
I love it. That's what I'm saying. Like, Pitt's going to get there. He's getting there.
He's getting there. But yeah, Herbert, dude, we'll get to him. I'm just trying to go through the headlines before we get into the actual games. There's really only one more. Juju done for the year.
Broken, like shoulder?
Yeah, it was. He knew it too. He knew it.
Was it?
Well, he was crying on his way off of the field. And that's, if you guys, we watch football, Juju is the extremely tough football player. Tough. Like, Anquan Bolden tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was crying going off of the field. I think it was because he knew, like, oh, I'm done for the year. Fuck.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever had, like, a separated shoulder or even, like, a bruised, like a broken collarbone. I know I got, like, my collarbone jacked up one time. I was rushing the QB. I was playing semi-pro at the time. And the tackle was talking hella shit. And I was like, I'm going to get your quarterback. Watch. And the next play, bang, put a move on him, boom, scoop, bang. Hit his guy, taking him down. This motherfucker took his fat ass, ran back, dove. Now I'm on top of it. I sacked his quarterback. This motherfucker jumped on the pile and dove into my fucking collarbone. My shit was not right. I think my shit still ain't right. But that pain is stupid.
Well,
stupid.
I 2 torn rotator cuffs.
Oof.
All right, the first one, I can't even describe it as pain. It was more like molten lava instead of bone marrow. Everything got so hot inside. That's exactly what it felt like, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, I tore something because it got so hot. I was like, oh. And then the second one, when it happened, I knew it instantly. Boom. Oh, I know that feeling. Shit. So, I mean, that separated shoulder. Look, Baker separated his shoulder last week, popped it back in, and is now dealing with the labrum issue because they just did it so quick to get him back on the field. Now he's got a partially torn labrum. Didn't seem to bother him. He was balling.
What?
So, yeah, that's about the only other news. Now, let's get into some of these games, because these games this week was retarded. This week was retarded football. It was so much fun. There was 2 games that were just electric from beginning to end. I was texting you as the Packers and Bengals were playing, like, I hope you guys are watching this game, because I don't know if you were working or not, because that game was stupid.
I was working, but then there was noise, so then I would jump out and I would catch glimpses. I was definitely watching Packers Bengals. I was intrigued by that game because I felt like Cincinnati had a shot. I thought the Packers would win, but I thought it would be close. And boy, was it ever. Cincinnati actually should have won.
I mean, I texted you, I was like, nobody wants to win this game.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to win. They missed 3 field goals in the last 2 minutes to win the game. How is that even possible?
Kickers, man. I'm telling you, since, I don't know what it is, but since they moved the extra point back, it seems like kickers are missing more than ever. Not just extra points, but actual field goals. So something's in their head. I don't know what it is.
I like
don't know what it is.
I like it. I hated extra points before for NFL kickers from the 3-yard line. Are you serious?
So it's like go earn the scratch. That's why when you have like a kicker like Baltimore, like someone you can hang your hat on, you keep that motherfucker. You keep his ass.
Of course. So Russell Wilson, we'll go to Thursday night's game. We all got this one. Did you pick Seattle?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
See, that's what's.
And you know what? Russell got hurt. I mean, let me tell you something. Well, first of all, Seattle couldn't stop a fucking runny nose. The run game was stupid. But Seattle offensively were doing some things to the Rams. Actually, they were able to run on them. Alex Collins had a pretty damn good game.
He was getting busy. So when Russ got hurt, that's when there was a flip. All right, so I have DK on my fantasy team, my season-long fantasy team, right? Mm-hmm. When Russ gets hurt, Geno comes in and absolutely balls out, dude. He balled out. It was impressive.
Yeah.
He started throwing it to DK Metcalf even though Jalen Ramsey was covering him. He's like, whatever, look at that guy.
He was like, where DK at?
Exactly, which Russ wouldn't do.
Right.
Russ is like, too much of a risk. Where's Tyler at?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Geno gets in, and I'm watching. I'm just like, Geno just keeps looking at Matt. Oh, he's over here this time. They get him in the slot. As soon as Ramsey wasn't covering DK, he's getting the ball every fucking time.
Easy.
Which I thought was odd because they had Ramsey going all over the place. There were times he was guarding the fucking tight end, and they had Lockett and DK on the field. I'm like, what are they doing right now? It's really odd. They're just kind of letting him do whatever he feels like at all times.
And they were, I mean, the rookie, I forget his name, corner for the Rams, he did make one or two good plays, but they were abusing his ass.
Yes, they were. So the pick that Geno threw in the fourth quarter, not his fault.
Wasn't his fault.
Wasn't his fault. He threw the ball, it was already gone, and Lockett got his feet tied up. So
he tripped over himself. The turf monster got him, actually. Yeah. He was supposed to be there. Geno put it in the right place. So, I mean, yeah.
The Rams defense not performing at last year's level, which is really hard to do. Baltimore's really the only team that stayed.
We said that. Look at they lost some key players. And I said that I was like, I don't know what they're going to look like. They don't got the same squad. So
yeah, their linebacking level is very thin comparative to what else they have. So, and there's only one Jalen Ramsey, so whoever's he's not covering, they're getting the ball, and other teams are seeing that right now. They still need a better running game, the Rams do. So it's early. They did get a victory against, it was a quality outing from Seattle.
It was the best I've seen Sony Michel play since college.
Yeah.
Since college. No doubt.
So, interesting Sunday in football. 9:30 game. I actually had the Falcons, and then when I saw Ridley was out and Guyton wasn't traveling, I went in and switched it.
I stayed with Falcons.
I saw that.
Yeah, nah.
Well, no. Without Ridley there, Matt Ryan was forced to finally throw it to Kyle Pitts.
I was like, Pitts is going to have a day because I had Pitts on my bench because he hadn't been doing shit. But when I saw Ridley was out, I was like, well, he only got one cat to really throw it to. Pitts better get the rock. And so Pitts and Cordero Patterson, I mean, this dude refuses to get cut. He was like, I'm going to figure out another position. I don't care what it is. I am not leaving the league. I'm in the league and I'm here. Whatever.
I mean, it's good for them for actually finding a way to use him as a weapon.
And he's balling. Like,
he's really getting busy right now.
Getting busy.
And the way that they're using him, his career could extend a little bit longer than what it normally would have because he was so underused for the first half of his career. He basically was only a special teams player for the first 7 years of his career.
Because he couldn't really run routes, and and then when he could only go long. He really, like, his hands were off. But since I tell you, it was since Belichick put him in the backfield and teams started using how effective he was in that position, then every team he went to after that, they were like, yeah, we went to Chicago. Yeah, we're going to throw you in the backfield too. He's in Atlanta. Yeah, we're going to throw you in the backfield too. I mean, shit. Hell yeah.
It was impressive. So we're never going to hear from Dice again. The Jets suck. They're terrible.
But I do have to say, kudos to them for at least trying to make it a game. The first half was fucking abysmal.
Yeah.
I mean, how you going to take that product across seas and get them excited about it? You sending the Jets over there and the Falcons, but at least, I mean, Falcons had Pitts. You know, I mean, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. So that's just two bad football teams. Somebody had to win. Somebody had to win in the end. I should have gone with experience. I literally had it as experience. Like, come on, it's a weird trip. Veterans will survive the trip more. And then I saw all of the weapons out. I was just like, man, the Jets actually have a talented roster.
But nobody can cover Pitts.
No. And I think the Falcons, well, we know Matt Ryan. Pitts is about to eat the rest of the season because Matt Ryan is just going to start feeding him because
when he locks in on someone, he is in. That's exactly why I picked Pitts pretty early too, because I know Matt Ryan and I know Matt Ryan gets locked in, and I also know that Calvin Ridley gets hurt. Ridley gets hurt, who you got left? And their running game, Mike Davis, starting running back. Cordero Patterson is your running back, and he's a converted wide receiver. That tells you all you need to know about the running game.
Yeah, so I expect nothing but the same from both of these teams. Just abysmal football. The Falcons, man, they're going to win themselves into a bad draft slot.
I know,
because they're going to beat
every season.
They're going to beat the other bad teams in the NFL because Matt Ryan's better than rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
You know, so they're going to do it again. Patriots, solid victory.
Say shaky, because they were getting smacked in the mouth by the Texans.
No, that's what I'm saying. I call it a solid victory because Mac Jones clearly, once again, likes to play NFL quarterback. This guy likes it. Brings him back.
Showed some moxie.
You know, what's his name? Oh, fuck. Kenyon Bourne. Need to utilize him a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You know, Mac Jones doesn't really go down the field. He's not a vertical passing threat right now.
Which is why I thought Myers was going to get a lot more busy than he did, but he didn't. That was disappointing.
One thing that did surprise me about this game is the Texans quarterback getting busy.
Oh, yes, he did. Threw for over 300, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And threw to guys who, I don't know if you heard of them. I mean, Conley, yeah, but, you know, Conley is good for maybe 1.5 good games a season. Like, good games. The other games, he'll give you 2 catches, maybe 34 yards.
Yeah, it was Conley and Moore getting busy.
Yeah, I don't even know who fucking Moore is.
Trust me, I don't know either. I have no fucking clue. So, solid victory for the young QB to come back, showing the things this season early on that you want to see in a quarterback that lets you know, like, all right, we can build with this. All right.
Yeah, he weathered the storm, you know, got through the adversity, came back on the other side. Hunter Henry showed up.
He's accurate as fuck. He doesn't really turn the ball over. Not really playing a little safe right now. I also think people also used to think Tom Brady played safe.
Well, I mean, he does have 5 picks so far.
Yeah, but trust me, I'm watching him. We're not pushing it vertically.
Right.
Nelson Aguilar.
James White is out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're losing your safety nets.
Well, I mean, you went and got Nelson Aguilar for a reason. And Jonnu Smith. Like, let's push it up the scene and go vertical, and it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll take it. It's a victory, and, you know, the kid keeps proving that he belongs, and you can build it. Because, like I said, you know, we just saw the Jets. Man, Zach Wilson, you know, like, is it Jeff George? Does he just have a ton of arm talent and is going to suck as a quarterback? Is he going to believe that he can throw himself into any play whatsoever? Because even Patrick Mahomes is now learning it's not that easy, dude.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, when your line isn't great, when the things aren't.
Micah Becton being out is really, really bothering. That's really bad for them.
Oh, that's so bad for them. I know. Yeah, I really don't know. Honestly, outside of Lamar Jackson, who you could put back there and hope, you know what I'm saying, he could turn water into wine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't help that with no running game.
Nah, I mean, you're relying on a rookie and Ty Johnson.
I mean, at least with the Patriots, you know, this rookie running back is a beast. He's a beast. And Damian Harris, stud.
Yep.
So, and the little tiny running back that's now going to be used as a third down running back since James White's hurt. He's little, but he runs really physically. He's one of those guys.
Okay.
But he's not like Maurice Jones-Drew little. He's actually little.
Oh, just like a little dude.
Like Steve Slayton size.
I was going to say, like, how about this name? Trendon Holiday.
A little bit bigger than him. Not that small.
Okay, because that dude was little.
Yeah, super tiny.
But he's fast as hell.
Oh, yeah. Come on. So, yeah, good victory for the Pats. I will take it, especially fourth quarter comeback. You know. Still, I cannot believe that rookie quarterback did that well against Bill Belichick's defense because it never happens.
Yeah.
And he has not played well.
No. Davis Mills blew up.
Well, he also got outside the pocket and looked really good on the move.
But the thing is that Davis Mills, I don't know if you watched him at all at Stanford. I actually saw his games. He was doing his thing. I was like, oh, I knew he would be a pro.
Well,
I didn't know if he'd be a starter.
All right, so we all know if you go to
solid backup.
We all know if you go to Stanford that you are smart. So that means at the least you get Kerry's favorite job in human history.
Backup QB, baby.
For a long time. So all right. Now we get to go to this is the most fun game that I've seen in a while, not because it was exciting. It was fun because it was stupid. So many missed field goals, dude. It was retarded. Dude, there were so many. I just could not believe it. So many chances to win games.
I know.
Both of them. Mason Crosby, miss. The other kid, miss. It was hysterical.
But even like the Bengals of old, right before halftime, you wouldn't have seen a play where the quarterback got it to the main receiver and they scored a touchdown with seconds left in the half. That was dope.
Well,
and when you saw that in a microcosm, that is a glimpse of what the future of this team could be. Burrows to Chase, that's looking like it could be a very dangerous combo.
That's going to be Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, but even quicker because they already did this in college.
Exactly.
So they didn't have to build this. They're actually friends. This isn't like two good football players. They've been friends.
Oh yeah.
Kudos, Bengals front office for being like, listen, this is actually going to help our quarterback more than a lineman will.
Yeah.
Because we all questioned it. All of us questioned it.
I know. I mean, chemistry between a QB and a receiver is priceless, especially. And then you know what? Also, as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I guess I was a little too harsh because Jamar Chase was the Biletnikoff winner. He was the best receiver in the land, and then he took a year off, and then all we thought about was Devontae Smith, and we thought about every other receiver at LSU and kind of forgot.
I didn't.
I didn't forget about him, but you know.
What did I say?
You know what it is. You got to see.
LSU fan here. What did I say? Yeah. People forget. Justin Jefferson went to the NFL and balled as a rookie, and everyone forgot that he was the second best receiver on that team.
Right. And he's doing this. Jamar's doing this as a rookie and making it look easy.
Yeah, he's explosive is a pretty good word for him. So, for the Bengals offense, what does this mean? Well, now Tyler Boyd goes down to 3 because T. Higgins is going to be the 2. Yeah. Because this is clearly your number 1. I don't care where you put him at. This is you got the wide receivers, better get in line.
Higgins is a damn good too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's a good situation. And then Uzma, I mean.
No, so what happens with them? So they lose their number 1 who's been there forever, A.J. Green. You know, one of our favorites. They lose A.J. Green, and they're like, all right, so T. Higgins has to become a number 1 now, or Tyler Boyd has to. Not anymore. This guy just stepped in and it helps to have your best friend as your quarterback. It really does. But you also have to make the plays.
Sure.
That play at the end of the half, he was all the way on the opposite side of the field. Literally, the other sideline running a go route. Took off all the way across the field on scramble drill. And as a quarterback, who you throw it to when you're scrambling, who you looking for? Your guy.
In your line of sight.
Well, who's open, but if you're searching, it's always going to be your guy. You just, where's my guy at?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, where's my guy? Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, if he's running around, it's either going to be Hill, but if he's neat, it's going to be Kelsey. Where's my guy at? He's somewhere around here.
And I'm just putting it in his area, and he'll figure it out.
Yeah, and they have he just threw it. Here, go get that. Ooh, defender missed it by that much.
Missed it by that much. And Jamar didn't try to jump, do anything. He trusted that the ball was going to be right there.
Yeah.
It was either going to get knocked down, or it was going to be caught, and it was going to be a touchdown. And we saw what happened.
Yeah, the future is so bright with them. They just got to – well, Aaron Rodgers said it today on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday that the only thing piece of advice that he's given to the young quarterbacks – because Joe Burrow, you know, of course they talked after the game, whatever. He said, just slide, dude. You got to learn how to slide.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, dude –
I know.
What was he doing?
I saw that other hit. I was like, he's gonna break a hip now. This guy's gonna have no legs. He's gonna be playing fucking quarterback in a chair.
These young quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, I know.
These are grown, gladiator-sized multi-millionaires.
They all do that. Lamar Jackson does that shit, trying to take cats on like he's a running back. You saw Danny Dum Dum do it. Damn it, Dum Dum. You were actually turning a corner, and then you got knocked back into fucking next week.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, young quarterbacks slide. Well, Kyler Murray does, but Kyler Murray, baseball.
Exactly. So, Packers pull out a victory. It was a solid game. The Bengals are a good team.
Yeah,
they're a really good team. Devontae Adams is literally unstoppable. Everyone knows he's getting the ball on all of those third downs, and they still can't stop him.
And we got to see something I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of.
Yeah.
A.J. Dillon. Those thighs don't lie, my friends. That cat is a load.
Yeah, no.
Getting involved in the passing game, he's going to push Aaron Jones for snaps.
Yeah, no, they utilized him in a week in which I had Aaron Jones in a lot of my fantasy teams. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. So, Lions lose in a form that only the Lions can do.
Wow. You know what? I normally don't feel bad for teams. Whatever happens to you, you deserve it most of the time. The Lions, though, it was the press conference for me.
Yeah, come on, man.
Bite your kneecaps was like, he was shedding tears. And that's why I was like, I would play for you, my dude. Yeah. You know what?
Kerry, it's not Motor City Dan Campbell's fault that they didn't pay Megatron. He didn't have nothing to do with that. It's not none of those players on that team. They didn't have nothing to do with that. But they are cursed until they pay that man.
Yep.
And they deserve to be cursed, and they will be perpetually.
Yep. He's putting his fucking body on the line, all that, and they wasn't trying to pay. He endured a winless season. Was he asking for a trade? Nah. He stayed right there. One of the best receivers we have put eyes on in this game.
Kerry, he had one of the best seasons the receivers ever had during a winless season, which means the entire defense knows there were times when Matthew Stafford was throwing into quadruple coverage. Cowboys, for example.
And he would get it.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yep.
It was nothing but give me that. So all season for Megatron.
It was retarded. I couldn't believe they actually lost that game. I could not believe it. There was 32 seconds left for Kirk Cousins to work with. Like, Captain Kirk doesn't do that.
Let me tell you something. I know I got a Vikings buddy, and he apologized for the victory. He was like, we shouldn't even won that.
Nope, they shouldn't have.
I'm sorry we won that way.
It was so bad. I felt so bad for him. So bad for him.
That's what I'm saying. I normally don't, but that one, that one stung.
Well, they have been in every game. They have been very competitive.
Been.
So there's already been a culture shift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they got the guy at QB. They got a guy who's just there right now.
Yeah. I mean, you got the guy at tight end.
Yeah.
And you got a good 1-2 punch at running back with Williams Swift. And Goff has to figure out who he likes at receiver. Is it going to be Cephas? Is it going to be this other kid, the rookie? I can't think of his name right now. You got to pick somebody. Pick somebody. Pick your guy. Have somebody be your guy. You got your tight end. You know who that is. You got your running backs. You know who they are. Pick your guy at receiver. Pick him, and then start figuring it out with him.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that the Vikings pulled it out because I picked them. You know.
Yeah.
Another one that I picked, pretty solid week. I think I'm back on track. It was that week 1.
You're on track.
I'm climbing out of the dungeon. That week 1.
I know.
Man.
Yeah, I had the same week 1, and then I ascended. Now I'm stuck at 2 because fucking Lump or whoever. I don't know who's up front.
That's Colton.
Okay. God damn it. Getting me.
These college kids have time to do research and shit, dude. I don't have time for that shit.
I don't got time for that.
Nope. So, Steelers over the Broncos. Big Ben had a couple of downfield throws early. Looks like, the social media post all said that it looks like Big Ben's Brazzers account has been reactivated. They finally let Ben beat.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what? I did actually pick Denver in this one, and Denver rallied late, and they had a chance at the end. Because I just don't trust the Steelers.
I don't either, but I picked Pittsburgh anyway because I just don't like Denver.
But they finally did something that they haven't done all season. Committed to the fucking run.
Yeah, I got Najee on my fantasy team, so thank you guys.
Yeah, Harris got his first hundo.
So yeah, Kerry, this week I beat my opponent by 90.
It's a beatdown.
I almost crossed 200.
Nice.
I got Justin Herbert. The guy put up like 48 points this week.
Yo, there were guys putting up some stupid numbers.
Yeah.
I went against a guy who had both Mike Williams and Devontae. And I still, if I tweak the lineup a bit, if I start Jameis over Stafford, I get the dub.
So I have Herbert, Derrick Henry.
Oh, I have Derrick in one. Monster.
Is it Jacobs in Jacksonville, the running back?
No. James Robinson.
I have James Robinson. Those are my 2 running backs. Najee Harris is my X factor. Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns this week. Thank you. And DK Metcalf, 2 touchdowns this week. Thank you. Justin Tucker is my kicker.
Of course, as he should. Yeah.
Colts defense not performing as expected.
I did look at the schedule, and then that's what backed me off of them. I was like, this is a tough schedule for them. And knowing the history of Wentz and putting his teams the defenses in bad situations, that's what made me pull away from them.
And then the only kind of not stud right now that I have is tight end Jared Cook. Really hit and miss right now.
He is. He will end the season, watch, with like 7 touchdowns.
No, I know he will. It's like some weeks it's going to be good. Some week, like this week, he had 1
I
catch.
also have him. I know. And it's like a roll of the dice with him.
So on my daily fantasy, I nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
Except I had Cook, who didn't do anything, which I can absorb one person not doing anything, right? Because I nailed it across the board.
Yeah.
If Hunter Renfrow would have had 1 more catch, dude, 1 more, I would have won one of the rooms I was in.
That sucks.
Like, I was just like, if Jared Cook does anything, or Hunter Renfrow I didn't really factor in how big of a John Gruden effect it was going to have on the Raiders this week.
Huge.
Usually the team rallies, but I think they were just like, yo, fuck it, let's get this guy out of here.
No, they were like, hey, Carl, how you feel about Gruden? Carl Nassib said, sack him. Fuck him.
Yeah. Tom Brady. Do we even need to talk about this game outside of Tom Brady just doing what Antonio Brown dominated? Which I knew. That's another person I had on my daily fantasy was Antonio Brown because Gronk was out.
I had him
That's
on
an easy
my
one.
bench. I did, and I knew better than that. I had him on my bench only because T. Higgins came back, and I felt like T could get busy against that Packers secondary, but Joey Boyband has his guy.
He's got his guy, and Gronk was out, which means that now AB becomes the safety blanket.
Absolutely. And you know what else I did? I sat Myles Gaskins, who I really like as Miami. But nobody runs on Tampa Bay. But the thing of it is, he got 10 catches because you got Briskets back there. So Briskets got to get it to somebody. So Gaskins got busy. And if I have Gaskins in, I easily win.
Yeah, so, I mean, this was easily as expected. Dolphins aren't very good. The Bucs are very good. That Bucs secondary continues to take hits, though.
The problem with Miami is that they have really good pieces, but they're deficient at the quarterback position. And, I mean, so we don't even know what the receiving core could be because they don't have an adequate – I mean – we know what Briskett's going to get you. We know what Briskett's going to get you.
How much do you think Miami fans like watching Justin Herbert get busy?
Oh my God!
So,
as a Chiefs fan, I feel it.
What's the Chargers owner? What's his name?
Spanos. Yeah.
No. What's the GM's name? Fuck. Is it Telesco?
Maybe. You might be right.
Whoever it is, it's really irrelevant at this point. So the GM said, now this is even funnier. We really didn't prefer either quarterback, Tua or Herbert. We were just going to take the other, whichever one that Miami didn't take. Miami, you suck. Saints in Washington. This is the Saints team that we get all season. Terrible, good. Terrible, good. I should have known this was a good week. I picked Washington.
The Saints. Because
I believe in Heineke.
I feel that, and one of my cousins is a Washington fan, and even he was saying he does like Heineke, but Heineke doesn't push it down the field. He likes all the moxie and all that. He actually wants. He's hoping that they blow Vegas up, and he's able to get Derek Carr in the squad. And I was like, ooh, yeah, I'll get Derek Carr. That could be really something. I was like, I could see why you want that.
Also, now that they're under investigation as heavy as they are, I think they will be removed from Aaron Rodgers' short list of teams that he would be willing to go to because they were on it.
Really?
Yeah. Loaded defense, young receiving core.
Yeah. I could see the receiving core with the running game, too.
That was them, and now it's funny because I know the whole city is pushing for it, but Aaron Rodgers kind of has this like open love affair with Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, you get Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays every Tuesday. He was on for 45 minutes today. He gets to talk about whatever he wants to, and he just, Pat McAfee's from Pittsburgh. They're all like, half of his like, show crew is all from Pittsburgh. So Aaron Rodgers comes on.
So he's like he's chilling with the Yinzers.
He's chilling with Yinzers.
Wow. All right.
And
I mean,
so
I would tell you, it would explode the brains of Pittsburgh Steelers fans if they got Aaron Rodgers. What?
The only problem is, boy, is the AFC kind of loaded right now.
I know.
With young teams that are good.
I know. Yo. Yeah, it's silly. It is. And remember, we were saying at the beginning of the season that the Chargers with Justin Herbert at the helm should push the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And now they're at the top of the pie. They ain't pushing. They sitting.
They're sitting, and they're going to sit there all season. They are loaded. They are talented. And they have the guy at the most important position. And there's not enough words to explain how good he actually is if you don't watch football, because it's just like, he does everything right. Dude, when he took off out of the pocket, he's so fast.
We might as well just get into that game. Yes, as a matter of fact. And Cleveland was busting that ass early, but then activation fucking Herbert in full effect. And has no one been watching the season Mike Williams has been having? You might want to cover that dude. Because how does he end up wide ass open?
All right,
I don't get confused on two people went for another guy that was not Mike Williams. I don't give a shit who that guy was, because I can catch up to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen ain't running away from anybody.
Well,
Mike Williams.
So that's the problem, though. So as a defense, your number one corner is going to have to cover Keenan Allen. He just has to, because if you don't, he's going to have 17 catches, 180 yards.
He will. He'll have so many catches.
Like he'll break
the catch record every week. He really will.
He will destroy you, and they know that. So you have to put your number one corner on him. So now you're putting your number two on this guy who is now blossomed with a quarterback who can get it downfield and who trusts him. Trust me, man, I needed Jared Cook to do some things. I kept saying, just throw it to him once, come on. And he just kept throwing it to Mike Williams. I'm just like, yo, coach, just throw it to him
Jared
once.
Cook did have that one catch, and it was a big catch, but for the situation of the game, not for fantasy purposes.
Well, I mean, there's times when running backs, tight ends are open, and quarterback is in go mode and is pushing things down the field, and it's just like, you don't always have to be in go mode. This is why I hate fantasy football, dude.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, you don't always have to be in go mode. Check down somebody.
This was another incredible game, though. This was such a good football game.
There was an Njoku sighting. Holy shit, was there an Njoku sighting?
Gary, there were 41 points scored in the fourth quarter.
It was an Njoku sighting, and there were Odell Beckham drops.
Yeah.
When he was wide open.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I know he's coming back, and they're trying to reestablish. These guys have just never gelled.
It doesn't work.
And it makes me think when Odell Beckham left the G's and he was talking all that shit about Eli when he brought on Lil Wayne and all them, and then he got with Baker and they were like, yeah, we're going to really blow it up. Watch, you're going to really see me get busy. We saw you got busy with Eli. Eli got you the rock all the time. I don't know how you just wanted to throw Eli under the bus when that cat blew your ass up. And now you went to another spot. You got shipped to another spot. And outside of a reverse against Dallas, that's the biggest play he's had in his Cleveland career. He hadn't done anything of note.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't fit. It's not working. He's still young. enough that where you can get something for him, but at this point it'll be like a third rounder or something. It's not even going to be.
It done. It done.
So
I would send him. I'm gonna think of some landing spots for him, where he could help. Well, he has to get with a quarterback who could actually get it to him. I mean, Rams are loaded; they don't need him.
The teams that he could go to, they don't need him.
They don't need him. I know, that's what I'm thinking. But the teams with the best quarterbacks who could use him, they don't need him.
The best situation, honestly, would be Arizona, but they're already stacked and they don't need him.
They don't need him. I mean, they don't need him.
That's what I'm saying.
Who does need him? The Giants. We could use him again.
But
actually,
if he were there, though, because of the way that Kyler plays, always extending plays and like out.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know.
Another team that could use him is Jacksonville.
You got Trevor Lawrence with the arm strength, yeah.
And you got a guy that you can just throw it to, even if he's just throw it to him. Just throw it to him. He'll do it. Just throw it to him.
Yeah.
It gives Trevor Lawrence an out.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
And he'll be the guy there. He can just get fed the ball.
He'll absolutely be the guy there, unquestioned. Yeah.
I don't think he'd want to go to Jacksonville, but I don't think he has it's up to him anymore at this point in his
I mean,
career.
because also look, H-Town. I was thinking about that. You go to H-Town, but there'd be pictures of Shorty shitting on his chest once again. H-Town is great. H-Town is wild, baby. So I don't know if he can.
He can't handle that.
Plus, he'd be really close to Louisiana. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good look for him. Maybe that wouldn't be a good look.
Maybe Baltimore.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm waiting to see Bateman. But yeah, I could see. I mean, Baltimore doesn't need. I mean, they could definitely use him for sure. But that thing they got there with Lamar Jackson, though, that cat.
I'm just going through the entire NFL, and I'm really looking at like
who he could really rock with, right?
Houston works. Vegas would work. The Lions work because they just don't have anybody.
They have nobody.
Other than that, dude, everybody else kind of set like a receiver. Like teams go 3 deep.
I mean, unless
easily.
you would want to take him to Green Bay, but Aaron ain't gonna be there for this year, so that'd be a waste.
He got Randall Cobb back. He don't need him.
Yeah, and he got his boy exactly. And on that huge third down at the end, who'd he get it to? Got it to his boy.
What a throw! Are you kidding me?
I know, ridiculous.
Backwards,
getting his hand hit,
knowing you're not going to be able to finish it.
But still accurate as fuck. Told you he's the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen.
I've always said it. He has the best arm ever. He throws the best football. He's the only one who can direct the nose of the football in any direction on purpose, like a pitcher would. Which stupid.
Is insane. It's insane.
It's stupid the windows that he fits things into.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Incredible. It makes no sense that they only won 1 Super Bowl. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Does not make sense. Well, back to that Cleveland game. The running game, first of all, if you drafted both Kareem Hunt and my guy Chubb Rock, you were not wrong. The only problem would be on the bye week. But you could draft both those cats and be right every single week.
Well, you're getting
every single week.
You're getting 160 plus, 2 touchdowns plus every week, guaranteed with them because they are run based. They will run it on 3rd and 8. They don't fucking care.
They don't care. We'll get it.
So, the question in this game is, Cleveland goes up big. The inability to stop the Chargers, is this a knock on Cleveland's defense, or is this like, it's Justin Herbert and those guys, like they're that good?
See now this is what makes it interesting, because Cleveland is a running team. Even though Baker did put up 300, Cleveland is a running team. You get up by that many points, how do you not are you not able to salt the game away? So I don't know if it was a clock management thing. I mean,
how is it possible for the Chargers to score 26 points in the fourth? How did they even get that many? Yeah, how did they even get that many possessions when you have the best running team in football?
When you know they have to pass, and you got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on the other side, I don't know. That's a great question.
There's coaching mistakes that led to that loss, but also Justin Herbert.
I mean, Herbert is special. Also, Herbert is special because not every quarterback would have been able to do that.
No.
Herbert is special. And then also, let's give some props to Austin Eckler. Yeah. Because when Austin Eckler was out, that team was different. Austin Eckler is in.
Yeah, no, if this team stays healthy, which traditionally the Chargers never did.
I know they get devastating injuries. I know.
If this team stays healthy,
they're gonna be a problem.
It is a problem, but the AFC. This is another reason why the AFC is so loaded. Is because they're a rival.
Yeah, because you got Buffalo.
I mean, dude,
busy.
The Chargers have beat the Chiefs and the Browns already this season.
Buffalo has beaten the Chiefs, but lost to the Steelers.
Well, that was an anomaly, so we'll get to them. Next one on the slate is another one that we all got wrong. Panthers and Eagles. Interesting game.
A game we should not have gotten wrong. The Panthers got that wrong. You don't. How you get a kick blocked in that critical juncture of the game? Listen, you can't even put this. You could say, well, CMC was out. Chuba Hubbard had a great game.
It's how often do you see a team get a safety and lose?
Right. I mean, and then then the game is ended because you throw a pick on an out at the end of the game, and Robbie Anderson was really pissed. So it must have been something. He must have seen something and suggested something, and then they went to that bullshit, and then the rock got turned over. It was something, but Carolina. But this is what I also said about Carolina. Carolina, and this is where I was right.
I just thought their defense was better than Philly's offense.
Their defense got players, and this is what I kept saying. And then they've lost players because obviously injury, but then now they've traded for other players to replace those. So the defense is actually fine. I'm not worried about their defense. It's always Sam Darnold, who has been playing better, but there's still some times where some questionable shit happens. And then there's special teams. Because I got a Carolina fan, and he was always shit. He's just like, yeah, it's gonna happen. They're just gonna fold because that's what happens. So then that speaks to culture, but Matt Rule has turned things around. So
I just thought that their defense was going to be better enough than the. And I don't know what Philly's defense is like because I don't watch Philly at all. I don't care.
Yeah, nobody should.
It's not like Jalen Hurts, 37 pass attempts, only 22 completions, 198 yards and a pick. It's not like he balled out.
It was the special teams.
Man. So that's why on some teams, like the Patriots, why special teams is such a big focus, because you can win and lose games in that phase. My college team, our head coach was the special teams coach.
That happens quite a bit.
That's why our punter was a first-team All-American. Things like that. We were very solid in special teams because we focused on it. Should have probably focused on defense a little bit more. Anyway, so Panthers moving forward. This isn't a good loss.
No, but you have to figure that CMC is coming back. They see now that they do have a viable backup in Chuba Hubbard. This guy can go. This guy can be a starter in this league. and they absolutely need him because CMC undoubtedly will get hurt again. They have to figure out. When you're in a tight game like this and you don't convert, I start looking at who your tight end is. I think their tight end is Dan Arnold. So they need to figure out a way to either get it to him or figure out a way to get it to Terrence Marshall Jr., who is 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds.
Well, so
and
here's my question, though. If it's 3rd and 8, who is the guy?
That's what I'm saying. It either should be your tight end at that point or Terrence Marshall Jr.
Is this why Robbie Anderson is so mad?
Maybe.
Does he want to be that guy?
I think he does. And plus he has the chemistry with Sam. So.
Because they don't really have, like.
How come you gave me that route when this route I went on? Like, I would get pissed. Listen, there was times, even playing rec league, if I'm just getting called on doing hooks, and I'm like, I would bust this kid's ass on a flag or a post. I'm like, man, I'm cussing out the quarterback. Like, I ain't running another damn hook. What you mean? Like, you wasting me. I'm being wasted. I could score right now, but I'm going to do a 6-yard hook. Come on, man. What we doing?
Yeah, so they don't really have, like, that guy because DJ Moore's, like, more like a big play guy. He just scores touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know,
DJ Moore, to me, he's one of those. You know who he's like to me? Robert Woods. Robert Woods, you have to get Robert Woods in the game early. When Robert Woods is engaged early, he's going to have a good game because he's going to run his routes crazy hard. He'll run that 5-yard out all game for you. He just wants to be engaged. And then he can make a big play. DJ Moore's like that. But I wouldn't say that either one of them is a closer. I would consider more Cooper Kupp a closer.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't have that guy.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So it's either got to be Robbie. I guess he feels like it's him. I mean, if I'm looking at it, Dan Arnold he's not a name that's like a sexy name at tight end.
No, but I liked that guy last year at Arizona.
Yeah, he can play. He can play. And his best attribute is receiving, running routes and receiving. So you either need to look at him or develop a relationship with the rookie, Terrence Marshall Jr., and then have that be your guy.
Is it where's Curtis Samuel at? He's in
Washington.
Washington? All right, I was just like, yeah, they're just missing.
Because he was that guy.
That's what I'm saying. They're missing that guy. So
he was that guy. Yeah.
Shout out to Sirianno and the Eagles getting another victory. Whatever. Fuck them. Easy game to pick. Titans over Jags. Easy. Come on. Jags run defense is not very good, and the Titans have Derrick Henry. Well, what did you expect? 3 touchdowns, over 100. James Robinson, though, I have both of them on my fantasy team. They killed it this week. They killed it. Easy one. Trevor Lawrence, solid game, though. 23 for 33. 273 and a touchdown, but it is against the Titans and their pass defense, and defense overall kind of sucks, so whatever.
And you know what, though? So this week I would definitely roll the dice.
We were wrong.
I picked Jags.
Dan Arnold is on Jacksonville.
Oh, he's with Jacksonville? So so then who is the tight end on the Panthers?
I have no idea. It's a rookie. Right. It's a rookie because he scored this week.
It is the rookie.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't have a closer. Darnold doesn't have, because who the closer would be? CMC.
100%. You know what the closer is for the Titans? Motherfucking Derrick Henry. Just give him the ball 30 times. Forget about it. Especially against a bad team.
And remember, they're the only team I've seen in this modern era of football that they were down, 18 points, 20 points. They still ran the rock, and they won the game.
Yeah.
So I think they're the only team that could do that shit.
Well, I mean, it helps when you have a running back that is so physically opposing that late in the game that he's actually winning physical battles, and it can also hit home runs at any time. Anytime. So
doesn't even seem like he gets tired.
There's your big play offense isn't actually throwing it vertically. It's just he's going to break one eventually. It's like Chris Johnson, but 8 times the size.
But like a mauler.
Yeah. Like just a giant size. Like in Captain America, Chris Johnson is before the Captain America juice. Derrick Henry is
Or the super soldier serum.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to be that big at running back and outrun everybody. It's not fair.
Nah,
It's not fair. It's ridiculous.
Walking away from people.
Yeah. So I picked the Raiders. Should have picked the Bears. Should have known the Raiders were going to mail this one in with the Gruden shit.
I also picked the Raiders. But kudos to Justin Fields.
Nah,
there we go.
Kudos to that running game because both of their running backs got busy.
This is true with their main guy Montgomery being out. I did actually pick up the rookie running back for the Bears. He actually, moving forward, it looks like he's going to get some more snaps. He's going to out-snap Damian Williams.
Well, I had Williams because of Montgomery being hurt, and Williams did have a touchdown and 60 yards. So, but Herbert got more carries, so he's going to be the focus
in the pass game. Yep.
So shout out to their backfield because it is loaded. They could go 3 deep.
Yep.
So good for them and good for Fields because that takes a lot of pressure off of him.
Absolutely. And who did he get the rock to when he got the tight end? I mean, touchdown? Tight end.
Tight end. Of course. Good for the Bears, though. I mean, Raiders, they suck. They're going to be terrible now. And
also, Fields is showing his accuracy. It's good. He getting out of the pocket.
So the question that you ask, and it's obvious, does Derek Carr now thrive that Chucky is gone? I think he does because they never got along. Chucky never liked him.
Never liked him. I feel like he will flourish just with that. I mean, you talk about literal Jesus. I mean, there's no Tim Tebow in the league, but the next best thing is Derek Carr, literally. So you have if Tebow is Jesus, Derek Carr is definitely the best apostle because he is that dude. And so you have him versus Chucky Biggett. No way. I mean, in Sin City, of all places.
And I think Derek Carr is going to play with something to prove now.
Sure.
Well, I think all of them will, but Derek Carr more than anybody.
Yeah.
And we've always, this is a pro Derek Carr show, always has been.
Yep.
I think that's this is a quarterback who, for some reason, gets shitted on, and I never understood it. Like Tony Romo, but Tony Romo had a couple glaring mistakes, so you could do that. But Derek Carr he's never been in that moment to have mistakes on that big of a stage, but people act like he has. I'm just like, I don't get it.
He's the one blowing it for them. And I'm like, and every time I hear that, I'm like, okay, name me somebody on their defense. And they can't do it. Oh, okay, thanks.
I'm like, did you guys watch any of that game? Because this guy could really play quarterback. Really could play.
What are we talking about? But what I would like to see, though, I like to see the ball sprayed around a little bit more. You have all that speed at receiver. Got to start utilizing it.
Yeah, stop throwing 20 attempts to Daryl Waller.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta diversify, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's Chucky saying Daryl Waller is the best football player he's ever seen in his life. God damn it.
Yeah, right.
That type of shit. But people forget when Chucky was an analyst for 10 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Every player that he saw, every highlight was the best play, and he loved every one of them.
Loved them all.
He's one of those guys. One of those guys. So, Darren Waller is extremely talented as a pass catcher and completely unguardable.
Sure.
Like, who do you put on him? He's too big for corners, too fast for linebackers and safeties. He's unguardable, but you don't throw it 20 times to your tight end.
Because when you need your wide receivers to get busy in big situations, when Waller is double, triple teamed, and you're only tunnel focused right there, and you got Ruggs going like this in the end zone, you know what I'm saying? Or Brian Edwards just got one-on-one, got his man easily beat. Or even Zay Jones now. I mean, maybe Zay Jones.
And you have a stud running back.
Yeah. Actually, you got 2. I mean, Kenyon Drake, at least get him. Why are we not getting more screens to Kenyon Drake? Because that's what he does. I mean, screen game with him should be butter, and then just have Jacobs do all the inside runs and all that, and have Drake do all the.
Well, you know what's going to happen now that Chucky's gone, and this new guy comes in. You know what? He's going to go to Derek Carr, and the first thing he's going to do, and it's going to be smart, what do you like?
Sure.
And then they're just going to build from there instead of like trying to force this Chucky Y banana to X2 jet, whatever shit that he runs every goddamn play.
Oh man, he's lucky he got that win against Baltimore.
Yo, you know what his only defense could have been, given as cavalier as he is. Instead of saying that, what he said, something like spitting rubber is a term that they use where he grew up for people that lie all the time.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't saying anything about DeMarcus Smith being black. He was just calling him a liar, which I thought was hilarious. Because he's probably telling the truth.
What?
Yeah, this is what he said. This is why I said, dude, I was dying, man. It was so funny. I was just like, man, this press conference tells you all you need to know about who John Gruden is.
Oh my!
Like I said, it actually told me more about who John Gruden's dad was when I saw this press conference. But anyway, what he should have said was, I have been called Chucky my entire career. I don't complain. It's just a name. Whatever. Get over it. That would have been, and he still would have lost his job.
He was going to lose his job. I mean, you know why? Because he had years, and it wasn't one comment.
Yeah, I know. If it was only one,
you can explain that away.
He could have used the Chucky defense, but the other comments made it like he's lost his career. He didn't lose his job.
If the comment don't fit, you must have quit.
He lost his career.
He lost his career, his entire career.
Yo, both of them did. You Gruden suck. You guys suck.
Now they can have brother time all they want.
I would love to be in the one drunken late night not angry drunk, honest drunk conversation where it's just the two of them and they talk about who fucked up worse.
Right. I mean, it would have to be Chucky Biggett. It has to be.
$100 million con, and they were looking for a way to get out from underneath that $100 million deal.
First of all, that was snake bitten from the very beginning.
Good for them. They got out of it.
Now, you sign up for a commitment that long with someone who's been out of the game that long. Like, if I know someone hasn't been dating for about 10, 11 years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to propose to you. I think you're going to make a great wife. Then that's on me. I'm a dumbass.
So, the real question moving forward, because I don't care if this coach, whoever this guy is, I've never heard this guy's name before.
He actually, Chucky Biggett gave him his start back in 2002.
So,
but he has like 19 years in college. Whatever.
Who's the top candidate for that job now?
Right. Interesting.
You have Derek Carr.
Who wants to go to Vegas? You got Derek Carr, Waller.
I think Bieniemy would be a good fit in Vegas because the appeal of Vegas would not touch him. He doesn't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Plus, we're talking about in division.
I know.
So, yep, that would be, that'd be a good spot.
Yeah, that's the first person I thought of. I was just like, oh, he'd have Derek Carr to play with. You already have like a real quarterback, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's in division too.
And you have a better running game.
Yeah.
That you would actually utilize. And you got a better defense, no doubt.
Yeah, it would be smart for them to go after him. Everyone's throwing around Byron Leftwich, but you have to be careful about an offensive coordinator that has Tom Brady as your quarterback.
Right.
Because he makes them all look incredible.
I like Byron Leftwich, but Tom Brady makes your plays look better. I mean, and because Tom Brady also makes his plays look better.
Yeah.
So.
Tom Brady rarely makes a bad decision, so he makes you look like a genius at all times. Speaking of that, Josh McDaniels is always a head coaching candidate, and I think the Vegas appeal is the wrong side of the coin appeal for McDaniels. I think he would go to Vegas and just completely fucking wild out.
And he's already been out west when he was with Denver. I think he needs to stay east. Wait for the hoodie to disappear into the dark zone.
So you got Eric Bieniemy, and then the other one is Brian Daboll in Buffalo.
Buffalo.
That's another hot candidate because of what he's done with Josh Allen and Buffalo's offense.
True.
So, interesting. I think those two would be the first two candidates. So, I mean, trust me, end of the season, there's always at least 6 to 8 jobs open. Those two are going to get jobs. It's going to happen. It's just this is the first one that's open. They're not going to make a coaching decision in season and hire somebody new. It'll be in the off season because they also have to wait until people are done so that they can actually interview them and whatnot. So
would you call this a lost season for Vegas? Or do they bad news bears this thing and just say, fuck it, we swinging for the fences. Watch.
I mean, the problem is swinging for the fences in a division that has Kansas City, even though Kansas City is mortally wounded, and the Chargers, who have now become one of the best teams in football.
I know.
Like, you're the third best team in the division no matter how well you play.
Right.
To think that Kansas City isn't going to at least get double-digit wins is very myopic. So, you've got to get at least double-digit wins to have a shot at a wild card because it's looking like the Chargers are going to get like 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I kind of would probably mail it in. They're not going to. It's impossible to get football players to mail it in.
I know.
It would have to be the coaching staff would have to sabotage it.
Yeah, by reducing guys' snaps and have some infighting and it would be a mess. But you know what? You know what team could survive a mess and people wouldn't even really blink twice because it's kind of expected? It'd be the Raiders.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
I mean, they've survived Mark Davis's haircut for.
Oh my God.
So I said this before you came on. This is the problem with being rich. Everyone's afraid to tell you look stupid.
I know.
That tells you he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, I know. Like, bro. What? Where? You saw this in a comic strip in the 40s. Why? Why is this your haircut now? It's 2021, my dude. What are we doing? Everybody's back outside. Is
he that enamored with dolls? Is that why he hired Chucky?
Maybe.
Now I'm piecing it all together. Look at his fucking haircut. This guy probably has a doll collection the world has, like, unseen across the world.
Ooh. Also, take a look at his crib, his house. Did you ever see a photo of his house? Google it. Google his house and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's definitely on some dollhouse shit. You'll see what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's why he hired Chucky. He had a real life. Remember, this is why Kanye married Kim. He wanted a real life, doll to dress up.
Right.
Right.
Well, not anymore.
I know, but he literally said this. So I think
weird fetish like that. That's a red ass flag.
This is why Mark Davis hired Chucky. Gave him $100 million. He wanted a real life doll.
10 fucking years.
I can imagine Chucky in Mark Davis's giant dollhouse of a crib, like he's Richard Pryor in Toy.
I wonder what that meeting sounded like. Was it like a boohoo fest? Because Mark Davis, let me tell you something. When it was just DeMaurice Smith and it was just that, they were like, yeah, we handle it in-house. All of a sudden, when it went to LBGTQ and you had some women in there, now it's time. Couldn't survive that. When it was just DeMaurice Smith, though, we'll do some shit in-house. I was like, okay, I see you.
Oh, man, I wonder if Mark Davis and Chucky are still going to be friends after this.
Yeah, absolutely will be. I'm telling you, it was a tear fest.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why, if you realize, look at the verbiage. He wasn't fired. He resigned.
That's also I talked about that. So there's legal things in there and contractual things. He'll probably still get money on the way out. It won't be the $100 million, but he'll get money because he resigned.
He's getting a severance package.
100%. You know who deserves the severance package? This is a good segue. Danny Dum Dum. Get him out of here. What is he doing? He almost killed himself. Yo, so I couldn't wait to bring this up. So, he called his own number on that play.
Why?
So if you watch
I was even saying, what a stupid play call at the goal line.
Yeah, no,
what are you thinking?
So if you watch it again, watch the rest of the teams kind of like
where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah, he called his own number there. And it wasn't even like a Tom Brady call my own number. We're going 1 yard forward. He tried to beat him to the corner and got he looked like Deontay Wilder.
Oh,
We'll talk about that after we talk about football because that one was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I wish I would have seen the whole fight. I just saw the highlights, but I didn't see any of the Fury when Fury got knocked down. Apparently, there was some controversy that it was slow counted when he got knocked down.
Not at all. Not at all. I watched every second of it. Not at all.
But regardless, they both went 11 rounds. I mean, Wilder has nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, first of all, he's like, what, 220? And fucking Fury is like 270? Come on, man.
So, and...
It's like Rocky getting in there with thunder lips.
And Fury is a superior boxer.
He's just a superior boxer. And and Deontay still got him down twice. I mean, props.
So, I was texting my boxing friends. Deontay literally only has one punch. Overhand right. He's thrown it the whole time.
Yes.
So the thing with Fury is he gets back up.
He does.
No one else gets back up when they get hit by that.
The Undertaker of boxing. He is.
He's a gypsy. He has to get back up.
Yep.
He has to.
And that's what he said. He said he got that from his pops. Like, you never stop. You never stop. He said his one mistake against Wilder in that earlier fight is that he didn't press forward. And we seen these next two fights, that's all he did. He was like, I'm just going to go through you. That's all I'm going to do. And that changed everything.
Well, so the first knockdown, he hit him basically at the top of the head. It was a concussion shot. Fury just went down instantly. And it was just like, now that I'm paying attention more to the subtleties of boxing, you see more knockdowns with somebody getting hit in the head than you actually do the face. The concussion factor is real.
In the temple, right here, bang. Or if you catch him perfect, bang, right here on that tip.
So he caught him in the more the top of the head, which is the hardest part of your head. So yeah, it rocked him because he went down, but he was up quick.
Yeah,
he was up quick, and then there was another knockdown like 20 seconds later. It happened again, like so fast. Yeah. And it was another big shot. So that first one, he was still woozy. So the second one, he just went down. It wasn't a slow count. I don't want to hear none of that shit. He got up. It's always at 8. He gets up, whatever, comes forward, does the thing. Nah, I'm good. And from that moment on, it was an ass whooping. Because after throwing so many as hard as he could, and he got up twice, and then answered the bell to the next round, it was over. It was over. By like round 6, he literally was just holding this arm out like this and was just throwing one punch the whole time, just trying to knock him out. And if you didn't knock him out in the early rounds when you had everything behind it, dude, I knew. Like, when he came out in the last round, I texted my homies. I said, he's going down. I was actually doing RIP TV and watching the fight as it was going on. And I said, he's going down. You could see it. He didn't have no juice left. It's not a good look, man. He's going to get memed. They already memed him.
He already has been.
No, this one's even worse.
Martin Lawrence. So Martin...
They did it. They did it again, but this one's worse because he caught him with an uppercut that literally he was out on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't go down because he had one hand on the ropes. And then he turned and looked.
Yeah.
The next one was
vicious. Yeah. I mean, no, he went down fast.
Yeah.
Like, bam. I was like, oh, shit. Jesus, man.
So then Tyson Fury, after the fight, goes to the club, takes his shirt off, grabs the mic, and does a little performance. Why not? This is why they're different. Not only is he 274 pounds, he is in ridiculous shape.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did not get tired or stop. His eyes never got low. Deontay Wilder in the last 2 rounds, when he, in between rounds, didn't even have his eyes open. He literally had his eyes closed with his head down. And I was just like, how is he even coming out anymore? Like, he's done.
You know what he needs? He needs to train with the middleweight. He needs to work on his jab. He has all that length and no jab.
It's just, he's a home run hitter. It's home runs or nothing with him.
That's why he never wore Tyson Fury down. You got to wear them down with it. You can't wear him down with weight. Tyson could just lean on him and he's wearing him down. He's like killing his leg.
And he did.
So he was killing his legs the whole time.
So
you got that length. I'm keeping that big motherfucker away from me.
So
stay over there.
You have to think of what a bad matchup this actually is, right? And people don't really understand it. So if you do try at 200 and whatever pounds he's 50 pounds lighter than this guy.
Easily, yes.
If you try to wrap him up, he's just going to lean on you.
That's it.
So you can't come inside because he's a much better boxer, and he's going to, which he did.
You kill your guts.
Wilder came in, and it was over from there. I was like, oh, he's going over. So anyway, back to football. Your boys, Danny Dum Dum caught a Tyson Fury shot. I don't know what in the world he was thinking. Dude, when I heard that he called his own number, I could not wait to talk to you about this.
And just when he was starting to actually turn the corner, you just got NFC Offensive Player of the Week, had a great game, great comeback against the Saints, all that, and you let it all go to shit.
One good positive note for you guys.
Tony is involved. I've been calling for his number. He should have been in this damn system from jump.
So now I think they finally realized that they have Percy Harvin on their roster.
About damn time. But it took half the damn team to get hurt. Oh, look at what we got here. Yeah.
Oh, and he will punch you in the face.
Yes, he will. I like that energy. So I was thinking, like, who would lose snaps? It's probably Slayton. Because Shepard is going to get hurt. That's what happens.
Well,
but Shepard's balling this year.
There's going to be a rotation of injuries with your receiver.
Holiday gets hurt because that's what happens. So, and now Slayton the past couple seasons, he's been getting hurt.
Yep.
And then Evan Ingram is Evan Ingram. I don't know. And then Kyle Rudolph, unfortunately, he gets hurt. Saquon gets hurt.
That injury this week, though.
I know. And the play was even over. I mean, that shit just, it's so fluky, but damn.
Kerry, so you know what that means? He's just going to keep, he's one of those guys.
He's just snake bitten. I know, he is. I actually said it to a couple other G's fans. I was like, Saquon's just snake bitten. You can't, you enjoy what you see out of him, but you're not going to really get much. He's going to be one of those guys like, damn, if only he could have stayed healthy. I wonder what we would have seen.
Yeah, it sucks. They did play a team that is absolutely fucking loaded.
Yeah, man. Dak, and I said this from the beginning of the season. I said Dallas was going to win this division. Dak is back, and apparently the Ewok has his powers back. He slimmed down. But the best thing that happened is that they got Pollard sharing the load.
Well, we talked about this last week, and I watched this game just because I had Tony Pollard And Dak was my main quarterback in the main room. I don't know why I didn't go with my guy. Come on, Golden Boy, think about it. But I figured, your guys' defense isn't that good, and Dallas' offense has been putting up big numbers. I should have known, fantasy-wise, that means they're going to be up early and end up running the ball more. Don't be stupid.
But also, though, divisional game, and if you saw the first half, Giants were frustrating the shit out of him and actually should have had more turnovers. Bradbury's playing like shit this year. And we are missing, obviously, our linebacker is out. But Bradbury's playing like shit, and we're just the only one who's getting pressure on the QB is our rookie, Aguilar, who I was excited that we got. But he's really the only one right now. But divisional game, we were causing them fits because Dallas should have been blowing us from the very beginning, but they couldn't. But that's that divisional shit.
Yeah.
Second
half,
they just got worn out. They just got worn
better
out.
Roster. Better roster, better team. Just it happens second half.
Fucking Diggs is just. They talk about he could be the defense player of the year. When his first season, he was getting smoked like a pack of cools. Now he seems to have figured it out.
Well, it helps when you have other pieces.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. Also, 5 picks. Well, 6 picks in 5 games. That's retarded.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
And also, he has superior ball skills. Also helps when you have an all-pro receiver as a brother. So I'm sure, they were playing like there was competition between them. I mean, his ball skills are great, crazy. It was just more so him just sticking with his man. And now it's being tough to even throw in his area because of his superior ball skills.
Well,
you throw in his area and he has a chance to get his hands on it, he's picking it.
I look at the ball skill set derived from it's him and his brother throwing a football back and forth all day to each other. It wasn't like they had a quarterback and they covered each other. Most of the time, it was just the two of them. Dad might come home, and then you get to play one-on-one. Most of the time, the other Diggs had to throw it back to the other Diggs. So his ball. I'm sure
they were practicing certain drills. You know what I'm saying?
And
sideline drills.
The brotherly competition between the two of them.
Of course, exactly.
Well, you're seeing it play out this year because he's fucking balling. He is balling right now. So are the Cowboys.
And I forget that he went to Alabama, which is DB Central. You already know that.
I forgot that too. It's just you forget because his brother is more of the face of the family right now.
Who went to a smaller school.
Exactly. But then you can see how somebody like Diggs would get lost amongst the sea of NFL talent that comes out of Alabama.
Absolutely.
They've reached the point where it's kind of just like they're all going to get drafted. You just got to see which ones work in the NFL. Like, they're all good. Everybody who starts there is getting a shot somewhere. Guaranteed.
Listen, even we got us one. We got Reggie Ragland. I mean, he's bounced around some, but remember, Alabama, he was a thumper.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you play there, you're going to the NFL. You're going to get a shot. So you do get lost amongst the just lineage of just stars that have, especially lately in Alabama, because it's been all wide receivers.
Yep.
They've been pumped out of there.
Wide receivers and running backs all day, every day.
Cardinals and Niners, interesting game because that Cardinals did not play that well.
They didn't, but they played well enough, which I figured that they would. I got to say, Kyler Murray, every time they say he can't do something, he makes sure to prove to you that he can. Said he couldn't throw from the pocket. Now he's slicing and dicing from the pocket. They say he only threw to DeAndre Hopkins. Now look at AJ Green getting busy.
Christian Kirk
getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Throwing to the running backs out the backfield. Their backfield isn't sexy. Connor and what's his name? Chase Edmonds. Yeah, that's not a sexy backfield, but they get the job done. And then this defense is coming together, especially Isaiah Simmons. And obviously, you already know what you have with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, but and Dede Baker and Buda Baker. So
Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons, yeah. He's balling this year.
Side note, Chandler Jones just tested positive for the Roni, so he will not be there this week, that's for sure.
He's out for 2 weeks then. Okay.
Trey Lance looked impressive outside of the pocket. He could really run, and he's big. But he also hurt himself.
He tried to have a boss move. Another young quarterback trying to go head up with defenders, and he got absolutely stonewalled. And I'm surprised he didn't break both his shoulders.
So what I didn't understand about that is Cam being bigger than any quarterback who's ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario would have jumped over them.
He would have jumped over, yes.
And I was just like, when he reached that, I was like, you're at the one. You could easily just, momentum will carry you in.
Yeah.
And he went low, and I was just, oh.
He tried to Earl Campbell, two guys.
Two.
It's like, what? At first, I was like, oh, his neck is broken.
Yeah.
Or his shoulders are done. What are you doing, son? Come on. What are you doing?
Sitting on the bench for a couple weeks with a knee injury.
Exactly.
So now a tender Jimmy G is going to be forced back into action, and we know he's tender on the field. So
when you just secured the job, homie, hold on.
Well,
don't pip yourself.
Well, Kerry, I look at it now as, what if Jimmy G gets hurt again? Which is very likely. Now, you got this guy with a fucked up knee, because I don't care. His knee is fucked up. If that's what took the force of those two guys hitting him, it's fucked up for a couple weeks, because he got destroyed.
Yes, he did.
And he's a big dude, and he got rocked.
Yes, he is. And listen, there's other ways to earn your teammates' respect. Homie, you win the game by staying in the game. That's it.
Kerry, any move, vertical, going back in, any move except Goy tried to go through the point of fours would have worked.
Even if he dove at their ankles, that would have made more sense.
Any move.
Why are you trying to Earl Campbell these cats? What's wrong with you?
He could have, both of them coming this way, he could have spun right into the end. Any move would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
And he chose the one that wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals won a game that they kind of probably shouldn't, which is a mark of a good team when you don't play well and you still win against a solid NFL squad.
And they keep that goose egg in the loss column. Good for them.
Only one's left, and that's usually a good sign. That's
the head coach that you hate.
100%. Historically, that means a championship game appearance, usually, if you're the last team that's undefeated, unless you're Pittsburgh last year.
Right. That was oof.
We
saw it fine. We saw it. We saw it at week 7 or 8.
We saw it happening. It's coming.
Like, oh yeah, they're about to lose 5 games in a row.
Well, it was crazy because the last couple wins were against terrible football teams. So it just made them look better because
and like
barely.
They were barely beating them. They were like getting lucky to beat them.
It was just like, oh man, wait until they get to this part of their schedule. Jesus Christ! Well, we saw it. We predicted it. I don't know if anybody else saw it coming. They were not going to win another game. You know who's going to keep winning football games? Buffalo.
Let me tell you something about Buffalo. They right now. Everybody in the league should be scared of Buffalo, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of their defensive line rotation. Now, this harkens back to the defensive line rotation that the G's had when they won 2 Super Bowls. They kept those guys fresh. They just kept rotating them. Obviously, you kept your studs in a little bit longer, but you just rotated them in and out. They go 9 deep, the defensive line. And Eddie Oliver, U of H, let's go Cougs, is leading them with the most, like 55% of the snaps that he's getting. But you got guys, every defensive lineman is getting double-digit snaps. And the majority are getting like 20-something snaps a game. So you got guys who are always fresh, who continue to put pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. And then you got Trey Edmonds, who will thump you. And then also, I saw this cat keep up with Cheetah. It was in a small space, but shit, great lateral movement. He was an all-pro linebacker. And then obviously you got Micah Hyde and Poyer back there and Tre'Davious White. So, and that's just talking about the defense. We see what the offense is. So
I think
just Allen carved him by himself.
Just equally important as the defense showing up is also Dawson Knox becoming a thing.
Oh yeah, which it's about time. I saw this 2 years ago. I was like, man, this kid Knox is nice. He was a rookie.
Well, him and adding Emmanuel Sanders, now their offense is just loaded.
I see, and that's the thing. I have Diggs, and Emmanuel Sanders got the 2 touchdowns, and I needed Diggs to get busy. But Diggs got that one big catch, and then that was it. That didn't help me fantasy-wise, but it helped him team-wise. But Sanders,
like, well, that's what I'm saying. So if a team could find a way to limit Diggs, now they have somebody else who will absolutely punish them for that.
Who will punish them. I mean, because Cole Beasley is a fucking pest. He's a thorn because he will convert those third downs over and over and over again. But now you got someone who will take it to the crib on you in Emmanuel Sanders. So, and then you still got Javonte Davis, who is nice.
Yeah, they're loaded.
He just can't really get on the field because of everything else they have.
If the playoffs started today, this is a Super Bowl team.
Absolutely.
We still have a very long way to go, though.
Now you're showing me that Zach Moss, as the number 2 running back, who's now receiving out there, who's looking real good.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They're
looking. So you got Singletary and Moss now.
They're
and then
loaded.
Josh Allen, who was just crushing them up the middle, just running like it looked like a pro team versus a PB squad. It just wasn't even fair.
So
and what the fuck was Sorensen doing? What was he doing?
Getting eaten alive out there.
Like what was he? Did he forget he was on the field a couple times?
It was ugly. It was real ugly with him. Their defense sucks. They're so bad, and then it's you're now forcing Patrick Mahomes to try to play hero ball, and that don't work because teams have figured, you know what, we're just gonna drop 7, we're gonna rush 4, maybe blitz 1. We don't really necessarily have to get to you. We just double Tyreek, we'll double Travis, and then.
And that's the thing. They didn't blitz him at all. They just came with 4, and that's why
Buffalo can. So
that's why I said it harkens back to the Giants when all they did, they just had their front 4 come at you. Everybody else was doing their thing.
I could realistically, we'll have to check the schedule for them, but I could realistically see the Chiefs missing the playoffs.
It could happen. Yeah.
It could happen because their defense is so bad.
It's so atrocious. It is. But I will say, the one beautiful spot that I did see, Josh Gordon, Flash, coming in there, fucking looking big. Now you put him against other players, and you really get to see how big this cat is. Just going in there and give me that. And, you know, he still doesn't really know the offense all the well yet, but.
I think whoever was covering that game, I think they put it best. They said he's an aggressive catcher.
Oh, yeah, he is. What's his name? Nate Burleson said this, and what a career! Like as a number 2 guy to these guys, Randy Moss, Megatron, and then Gordon. And he said when he was playing with Gordon, he said, "I've played with Moss and Megatron, and I'm telling you, you could be right up there with them." And Josh Gordon said, "Yeah, I'm still like 20 pounds overweight." And he was outrunning people, like destroying. He said he was destroying defenses. And he said he wasn't in shape because he was 20 pounds overweight. What? I mean, this cat is 30 now. If he keeps his body right, mind right, he could still have a dominant 8 seasons.
You can smoke weed now, so he should be okay.
He should be okay. But the only thing, and I say this now, I feel like a fucking broken record. I just feel sorry for Honey Badger because that cat doesn't deserve to be on a defense like that. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that.
Nope, he's too good.
It's like atrocious.
They're
It's bad.
terrible, and you can't win a playoff game, let alone a Super Bowl, with a defense that bad. They're not even making plays.
Can't, in the words of Mike Singletary, can't win with them, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't coach with them, can't win with them, can't do it.
Can't do it. So, old Two Sprades out there playing Two Sprades.
Two Sprades. Who played well.
Lamar Jackson was unstoppable for the last, 20 minutes of that football game.
Oh, that cat. Yo. I will say, though, that play where he fumbled on the goal line, and Darius Leonard picked it up, and he pitched it back. Whoever that corner was, I want to know what his 40 is. That dude is fat. Lamar Jackson was trying to run after him. That dude took off on him.
Yeah.
And Lamar was like, you know what? Nope.
Yeah, he was out. He was out.
I was like, oh, shit.
He was out, but, 442 yards passing, 62 yards rushing.
And, but even better than that, over 80%. So he has the NFL record for quarterbacks with at least 40 attempts, the highest percentage passing at over 80 plus, higher than Brady.
Mark Andrews was completely unguardable this entire game.
What a monster. I mean, the only reason why I didn't pick up Mark Andrews, who I would faithfully pick up, is because last season it was getting to the point where they were just playing like it was basketball, box and one on Mark Andrews. So he could get the ball because Lamar wasn't getting it to the receivers, but also the receivers weren't really getting open. Now, Hollywood Brown is playing better. The receivers are just playing better. And they're using their speed, but they're also knowing how they're running routes better. And now he's finding them.
Well, I also think that teams still, it's like you don't believe his passing ability until you see it in person. It's one of those things. It's like you don't think he's as fast like Scotty Miller. They don't think he's as fast as he is until they have to see it.
Right.
And it's like teams don't think that he can throw it as far as he actually can, because when Hollywood Brown is open, he's like open by 20 yards. And it's like open.
And he still had to dive to catch a rock. You know what I'm saying? I guess they didn't watch Lamar at Louisville. I did. This cat was bombing teams. He been had a deep ball. They haven't watched him.
It's the Michael Vick thing, but he doesn't have that zip that Vick had, but it's that effortless throw too, where it's just like you don't think he's got a 70-yard arm because he's just like.
Right. And plus he's so slight, and he's always moving, jitterbugging. You're so worried about the run, you don't realize my man got a howitzer too.
Yes, he does. So, let's see.
And I gotta say this though, Brady is balling out of control, and they keep saying, they keep using Brady's age, which is phenomenal, as they were like putting him at the top of the pile for MVP. But I'll say this though, as we talk MVPs, we're like Herbert, Murray. We got guys who are just balling all over the place. The only difference is the one who's still balling, who absolutely needs to ball for his team because his team is so decimated, is Lamar Jackson. And there's no way with all those injuries that they suffered at the beginning that we are saying that this team is 4-1 and actually should be undefeated.
So if you go by the credo of what most valuable player is, Tom Brady has reached Michael Jordan territory where, of course, he could win it every single year, whatever. This season, given injuries and the load that he must carry, clearly he is the most valuable player. That's why you have the Offensive Player of the Year award separate from the MVP, because...
Which is smart, yeah. Which is what basketball should actually do.
Yeah, because what Justin Herbert is doing right now is
ridiculous. I know. He should be it's going to be between him and Brady for the Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But MVP wise, that's Lamar Jackson.
Him and Kyler.
Him and Kyler, absolutely. Yeah.
When you run, is so much at quarterback, you're always going to be in the MVP discussion because you are carrying so much of loads. Just Lamar, they've gone through 9 running backs, like 7 receivers are out right now. It's retarded.
Son, Devontae Freeman.
Chunky
Davius
Freeman.
Murray, who just got on the squad a couple weeks ago and didn't even know plays and had to get in there. They picked up fucking Le'Veon Bell, who I don't even know where the hell he is.
All right, so Baltimore leading the league in offense right now.
That's ridiculous. What?
Cowboys make sense. Tampa, Kansas City, Cleveland, these all make sense. Baltimore leading is
That doesn't
that
make
just
any
shows you what Lamar Jackson's actually doing right now.
Exactly.
Defensive
Exactly.
leaders. Buffalo Bill leading for number 1 defense in football right now, which paired with that offense, this is a Super Bowl team.
And this is what I'm telling you. And it's the key is that defensive line. And as we think back to the draft that they had, they were picking up what? Defensive linemen. I was like, this is very interesting. Okay. So I was thinking about that. I was like, they could have used another linebacker, but all right, another defensive lineman. And now I see it. I say, now I understand what they're doing. They're keeping those guys fresh. You keep those guys fresh, everybody else will be able to flourish in their positions.
Yeah, Tom Brady is leading the league in passing.
Stupid.
Is on pace to actually break the single season touchdown record right now, which he probably will because they don't need to run the ball. Just throw it.
I think they run it when they want to, or just like they run it just to be like, oh look, we got a running back too.
So this is like going back to the Randy Moss, Wes Welker. We could literally just do whatever we want offense, where he's just like, well, I'm going to throw it 70 times a game. You're not going to stop me. We'll run it because it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
just and with actually more weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have Randy Moss, but you have a better quality across the board.
You have Evans. You got Godwin. You got A fucking B. Now let me tell you something about AB. People forget AB lost how many? Like 2, almost 3 seasons of his career. There was a stat of his receptions. He got to 900 whatever receptions, the second fastest this past game. And he lost 3 seasons.
No, they count it by games played, not by time.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's all I'm about to say.
but he still would be,
at this
because
point,
you're
he would
missing
be
3 years younger, AB.
So now we're talking about someone who was an actual viable, credible threat to Jerry Rice, which we never thought we would see that.
Yeah, no, and then Gronk.
All receptions.
You also have Gronk, Godwin, Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard. It's just retarded. And now,
even the rookie kid or the second-year kid, I forget his
Taylor.
name right. Yeah.
and then also they added Gio Bernard
And he got him one.
to be his James White.
And that just extended his career. Good looking on him.
Yeah, no, he's on my fantasy bench. As soon as the Bucks picked him up, I instantly grabbed him off waivers. So I'm just like,
That was smart.
you guys, Tom Brady is going to use this guy every fucking game. Every single game, he's going to be a factor.
Because he can actually trust when he throws it to him. Can't trust Leonard Fournette. Can't trust Ronald Jones. He can trust Giovanni Bernard.
And everybody who's watched the last 20 years of Tom Brady knows if on third down, that running back is, if Gronk isn't open, that guy is getting the ball. And now they got AB too. It's just retarded. It's retarded. He literally has to go into games being like, all right, I have to get Mike Evans into the end zone a couple times to keep him happy.
That's what I'm saying. He has to be like, okay, this is going to be a Mike Evans game. Next game, if Godwin is healthy, it's going to be a Godwin game because Godwin, his numbers has been a little below. Watch what I tell you. The next 2 games, Godwin's going to be getting busy.
Godwin, and if Gronk plays, which they don't
Then
need him,
Gronk is going to get back in the mix.
which is funny because they don't need him to.
They don't.
Take your time. We need you in the playoffs. Take your time. It's stupid. Their defense really
They just
shaky.
lost Monty David. Oof.
Their secondary is completely decimated. But it's all about the end of the season for them. So the offense will get them there. Don't worry about it. It's just get healthy. And then, honestly, they're in the NFC. So this is pretty much a free ticket right into the NFC title game.
Let's be clear. They're in the NFC South. So we're talking about the Falcons, the Panthers, and the up and down Saints.
So Tom Brady just did it again.
He sure did. He just did it. He just AFC Easted himself. Yes, he did. Yep.
So smart. So smart. All right. So let's get into next week's schedule. Tampa at Philly on Thursday. Easy.
Easy.
Easy. Tampa,
Cover
come
now.
on. I don't care where they play at. That one's too easy. Miami and Jacksonville in London.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's done this every single year.
Yep.
No big deal.
Yep.
How long does Urban Meyer last now that Gruden's been exited so quickly?
Listen, as soon as Jackassville lost this one, I was watching for Urban Meyer, but then I think Gruden actually saved Urban Meyer's job.
He did.
He did. He saved old Fingerbang's job. So I would, if I'm Urban, I'm doing this. Thanks, man. Good looking out. Thank you. One in the pink, one in the stink.
Old Shooter McGavin.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, good looking out. Chucky Bigot, you just saved old Fingerbang's job.
He certainly did, at least for 1 week.
For now.
They're going to London too. Oh, Urban Meyer might be out of control. Old Bourbon Meyer might be out of control over there.
Well, here is one thing. The ABV of the beer is lowered down there. And purposefully.
Bourbon Meyer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. Green Bay.
He may dip into a little meth while he's up.
Green Bay at Chicago. Interesting. Still going
It
to go
is.
with...
I know you were about to do it because you think because it's that Green Bay defense that you can't trust.
Especially with Chicago's running game.
And then you have Chicago's defense, who they still got ballers, still got players. Roquan Smith is having himself a year.
I don't know. I might actually end up picking Chicago when it's time to click the button.
I gotta look at the injury report. I gotta see what I gotta do some more scouting on that one.
100%. Cincinnati at Detroit. Detroit will find a way to lose this game.
As they do.
Houston at Indy. 2 sprains. Will find a way to pull this one out. Their roster's just better than Houston's, but watch Houston go in there and win. Davis
Mills have another 300 fucking yard game and throw to some more cats. We're like, who's this?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Some guy who's got off target. The target check cashing line.
Incredible. It shouldn't be that way, but it'll happen. Rams at the G-Men. Next.
Thank you.
Kansas City at Washington. What if Kansas City fucks up and loses this game too?
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this ain't a layup.
Because their defense is so terrible that Washington can score 30-something on them. Kansas City...
I most definitely picked the Bills against KC because I was like, oh, nah, KC going in the opposite direction.
We all did. So that's what I'm saying. Can Kansas City put up 30-plus on Washington's defense is the question.
No. I mean, Crab Legs got busy on them.
This is a tricky game. This is a bad game for Kansas City. They could end
It is a bad game. Because their defense is so atrocious, and you got Antonio Gibson, you got McLaurin, who's just getting busy. Man, man, that's a tough one.
I don't know about who I'm going to pick on that one either.
I have the last second that one.
Minnesota at Carolina. That's another one.
I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate that game.
Whoever I pick, the other team's going to win. It doesn't
I
matter.
hate that game. Yep.
All right, so the one that we will all be watching at 1 o'clock, Chargers at Baltimore. It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Oh, shit. Yes. Now that's a game. Thank you.
So this is a good test. Well, this is a good test for the Chargers defense because they are fast. So that helps.
This could also be the first game that we see Rashawn Bateman.
And what in the world is Baltimore's defense going to do against this offense?
So now you're asking Marlon Humphrey to guard who? Keenan Allen or Mike Williams? I think I put him on Mike Williams.
They will, which means Keenan Allen is going to have a monster game.
Okay. Listen, Keenan Allen will have 18 catches, but a lot of times they'll be between the 8 and 12-yard variety. So, okay. All right.
Well, see,
So,
this is what teams have been doing against Kansas City. We're going to limit Tyreek Hill if we can, and you can allow Travis Kelce to go ahead and get these 8-yard completions all the way up the field because Kansas City doesn't really have the ability to just go up the field patiently.
And that's what I was going to say. They lack the patience, but it's open. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's like, I'm in the flat whenever you need me. Here I am. I'm butt naked open. But they just train. Patrick is so trained to look down the field. He's not even, you know what I mean? He checks down as a super last resort.
Well, I am a fan, and you know what happens when I become a fan. Let's go Chargers. Doesn't matter who they play. I believe in this kid.
I know.
You see it. All right, so
I told you from jump I love him.
Nobody saw it with Tom Brady except me, right? Mm-hmm. That was an outlier. Everyone sees it with this kid.
Yeah. I saw it very early with him. Matter of fact, when he was at Oregon, when the Giants were first looking at him, that's when I started really paying attention to him in Oregon. And then his junior season, I was like, hey, I see he's talented, but I kind of felt it. I was like, does he? I don't really. Does he love the game? He kind of seemed nonchalant. I mean, I had Eli for forever, so I'm like, that doesn't really move me. How do his teammates feel about him? Like, how do his teammates get excited when he does something? That senior year, shit, especially in that bowl game, I said, oh yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't watch college football, so.
Yeah. I was like, he about to be ready. So I was looking to see, and that's why I was so pissed because I was like, the fucking Giants got Danny Dum-Dum. We need to get this guy. And so.
See, I only need to see one throw from a quarterback against an NFL defense at full speed. It's usually an out, like a deep out.
Sure.
I'll instantly know if they have the arm to be in the NFL or what type of quarterback. Yeah, a lot of them can complete that, but how do you complete it?
How do you complete right?
Are you driving it in there? Can you force it in? Do you have enough arm strength to make that throw?
Are you throwing with elite anticipation? Is that the with Chad Pennington anticipation?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Sure.
He doesn't have a huge arm, but he's extremely accurate. This kid, huge arm, one throw instantly. It's like when I just needed to see one throw from Zach Wilson against NFL speed. Yeah, he's got a huge arm.
Yeah.
He also thinks he knows he has a huge arm. He's going to throw a ton of picks.
That's it. That's the Jeff George syndrome.
Jeff George syndrome. All right, so 4 o'clock slate. Arizona at Cleveland. This is going to be a good one.
That's a good one.
No Chandler Jones?
Yeah, I mean, we talk now. This is gonna be a true test for the Arizona defense because they haven't faced a running attack like this, and that's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. Yeah, no Chandler Jones, so they can go away. They can go away from JJ Watt. So now you're gonna be asking Isaiah Simmons, who's a little bit slight. He's a slight dude, and Buda Baker to come up. We're gonna see what they're made of. We're gonna see if they can thump. Because Cleveland's going to make you bang.
Yeah, this is going to be a game that's definitely going to be won in the end of the third and going into the fourth quarter, because can the defense, especially those two from Arizona, physically keep up, because both Kareem Hunt and Chubb are big.
They are big. And also, on the other side, that Cleveland Browns defense is big too. So are they going to get some licks on Kyler Murray and take the stinger, out of him? I will see.
Well, we all know it doesn't matter who's playing defense, that literally no one can stop DeAndre Hopkins. It doesn't matter.
True.
It's impossible.
And we see in the beautiful resurgence of AJ Green.
Yeah, I love it.
That's a lovely sight to see. And he's excited to play football again. And so that makes him even more dangerous.
That game is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Where they playing?
Cleveland. I'm going with Cleveland on this one.
Ooh, wow. 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 Baker's already feeling some type of way, especially because now you're hearing the whispers. Is Baker the one that's making us lose? Is
becoming the first team in history to go 400 yards passing, no turnovers, and lose?
To lose that big of a deficit, big of a lead.
Yeah, it was the first time it's ever happened, because Tom Brady went in the Super Bowl, went for 550, no turnovers, and lost. So yeah, it happens. No, that game's going to be awesome. Vegas at Denver.
Well, historically, this matchup is always a funky one. But now that Chucky Biggett is out, what kind of Vegas team are we going to see? And where are they playing? Are they playing in Vegas?
No, they get away from Vegas. They go to Denver.
They go to Denver.
Do they galvanize?
They go to Denver. Ooh. I think I would lean on Denver on that one. I don't think so yet. I don't think Vegas, not yet.
That's going to be a last second decision for me, because I know we just got rid of a toxic coach. Next game effect is always a big one. And then they level off, but that next game bump is always huge.
It's gonna be very emotional, no doubt about it.
I have Derek Carr on my bench as my second quarterback, and it makes me want to start him this week, because I know he's going to go off.
I mean, plus they just had that huge disappointment against the Bears. But also they just had that huge disappointment against the Bears. And Denver does go too deep at running back with Gordon and the rookie out of Florida State.
Their defense is solid, so probably will go with Denver on that one. Yeah. Dallas at New England. Man, Dallas is too good.
Dallas is fucking
even for a New England team that it's got the hoodie and has found a way to win games that they're supposed to. They're not going to beat teams that they're not supposed to. They're just not. They're just done.
Not yet. Not yet.
They're just not talented enough.
And for as much as you hate them, and for as much as we all criticize the shit out of him, Dan Quinn, even though he does have better talent than last year's Dallas defense, he does have those boys playing aggressive style, and they're just playing a shit ton better.
Yeah, 100%. And, Spectacular is balling right now.
I mean, Dackles. That's my man.
Seattle at Pittsburgh with Gino with the start, because Russ is out for a couple weeks. Pittsburgh. This is the easy one.
Well, I will say this.
DK is going to have a big night, but this is
the most talented offense that Gino has played for.
Yeah, but they're letting Ben beat again, and he's pushing it down the field.
Yeah, they opened the bathroom stalls for Ben. So yeah.
So having Juju out for the year does suck, but that James Washington is going to have to play a bigger role.
Now you get your wish, buddy. You better step up.
But Deontay Johnson's kind of unguardable right now.
Yeah. It's always Claypool is
hit or miss.
He is. He's hit or miss, and he's kind of this guy who's always perpetually banged up.
Well, He
Most
plays so
everybody-
physical. So I think with Juju out now, that Claypool's going to get more looks and targets. So it's up to him to stay on the field and produce. I'm still going to go with Pittsburgh because
Are they going to stay committed to the run?
because I think they realize like, yo, this kid's like really really good.
He is.
Like
Shit.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team also. So I can.
Yeah, they do. If they do that, then they'll gash Seattle because their defense is atrocious too. Yeah.
And as well as Geno played at the end, Geno is going to Geno.
We know who he is, and they're playing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's the easy one.
Gotcha.
Sunday night game too. Too many eyes on Geno. Nah. We know how that goes. Monday Night Football, Buffalo at Tennessee. Tennessee's going to take another one on the chin. Buffalo is they are rolling right now.
They're rolling. Yeah, they are rolling.
The only question you ever have with teams outside of the Patriots, because who rarely destroy teams throughout the early part of the season, is are you peaking too early? We're in week 5. Are they going to dominate weeks 5 through like 11? It's just so hard to play at this level for the rest of the season.
It is, but I will say this: the culture in Buffalo with the head coach, the GM, the owner, the whole shit down is fucking rock solid. When they chose Josh Allen, I was like, word. But you talk about someone who's turned 180 degrees, and super fast. And it's not that we don't see a regression. So he is who he is. And now he's only ascending.
What I think's interesting about him is he has a very, very elongated delivery, but he has such a strong arm that it doesn't matter.
And plus he's so athletic. And he will jump over you.
Yeah.
He's proven that. But he also can truck stick your ass too. Yeah, they just got so many playmakers, man. But I mean, just his transformation at the quarterback position.
Well, also their defense is playing so well right now. So I'm going with Buffalo to continue rolling right now because they are. And Tennessee has lost games that you're just like, really?
Also, the Julio Jones effect has been no effect.
No effect.
At all.
So bye weeks begin this week.
Yeah.
So Atlanta, New Orleans, the Jets, and San Francisco are all off. So the San Francisco's quarterbacks could heal up for a week. The Jets could, I don't know, do whatever the Jets do, go to Griffin or whatever, if that place is still open. The Saints, it's good because they're
up with J.R. Smith because he's on the greens.
Yeah, I know. He was a 2 handicap, but at tournament level golf, when you're in they make tees just for the tournament, and then the greens are ultra fast. He shot an 86 and a 70, 73, 78 or something like that.
78, yeah.
78 is pretty respectable. 86, not so much.
Yeah.
I don't
know. What's yours? I don't know what mine's.
I mean, if I played on the courses that they're playing on, I'd probably do the same thing he did. I'm in my 40s now, so I don't play on courses like that.
Yeah.
I've earned it. So, anyway, for the Saints, up 1 week, down 1 week. So, they just win. Down week, off week. Probably going to be up on it coming out of the off week.
Looking good for them.
Looking good for them.
It's another week for players to get healed up, and what is the Michael Thomas situation?
Who knows? He probably won't play this year. Atlanta, though, probably not good to have a bye week right now because
got a little momentum.
But Ridley and Guyton both not making the trip. Injuries. It's the NFL. Everyone loves the bye week. Time to heal up. Kind of sucks, though, for some of these teams because some of them are already dealing with injuries and the bye week's coming off early.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking week 6.
Yeah, not getting their bye week until week 13. Now, if I got my bye week in week 5 and I see a squad getting their bye week in week 13, I'm salty as fuck. I'm telling you that right now.
Especially knowing that you just get your bye week. This is week 6. You have 11 more games to play.
I am salty. Telling you that. I'm looking at whoever scheduled these buys, and we're going to have a conversation.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for Atlanta and the Jets to get the bye because they just came back from overseas. That always happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of the deal. But now you're asking your roster to stay healthy for 11 straight games. And if you're good, also the playoffs, which maybe San Francisco out of those 4.
Let's take a quick peek on who has the week 13 buys. I think there's a couple good teams in there, which
of course. Because they listen, man, people like to watch good teams.
Yeah, I mean, because also look at the teams who got these early buys.
So
teams that no one really thought everybody was going to do it. Jets, come on now.
Week
Atlanta.
13, Cleveland, Green Bay, Tennessee, Carolina. Carolina's the only outlier.
Carolina's the only outlier. That's it. Yeah. Come on, man.
Hilarious week 13 buys.
Come on, man.
Oh, there's week 14 buys.
Shit. See, look at that. Who's week 14?
Indianapolis.
Who they thought was going to be good. Who could stay.
Miami. New England and Philly. So, not so much. But, yeah, week 14. You get a bye in week 14.
Well, also, people were still kind of high. They didn't know. New England still has a little, cachet from, being New England.
No, but the whole point.
They thought Miami was going to be better.
11 straight weeks.
I know, that's
to field a healthy roster.
That's brutal. I mean, because also you have nothing to look forward to. Like the teams who don't have the buys until late, they have something to look forward to. They're like, we got this, we got this. We got that buy, though. If you get your buy right now, you have nothing to look forward to except the end of the season. I mean, the Jets, you get your buy now. Atlanta, you get your buy now. You have nothing to look forward to until the end of the season, until it's Cancun time. That's it.
11 weeks of this for them. That's gonna suck.
That's torture, man. That's bad.
Terrible. All right, man. So, yeah, 2 monster games coming up this week.
That Chargers-Ravens game, I'm really looking forward to that shit.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I expect there might be 80 points put up.
That Cleveland Arizona game, too, that's going to be interesting.
See, that could go the opposite way. That one
that should be crazy low score. I'm just thinking, why that should be crazy low score?
No, that one I could see at, like 24-18 or something.
Also, battle of the 2 former Oklahoma quarterbacks who started out at other schools. Started out at both Texas schools, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Yeah. That's funny. Look at their trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, that one's all going to be on. I mean, Cleveland is 1,000,000% committed to the run.
They have to. They got to pound. They got to ground and pound.
I mean, clearly, when you have Kyler Murray, your best defense is keeping him off the fucking field.
And I'm telling you right now, I would say if I were to slant Cleveland, pound, and find a fucking big play for Odell this game.
Oh, you know who's finally showed up? You know who finally made an appearance in this Chargers game? Rashard Higgins.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, started popping up on 3rd down in the game.
Okay.
So I was just like, it's nice to have him back.
Schwartz didn't do nothing.
Nah.
I thought I saw Peoples out there a few times, though.
Yeah, no, Peoples has taken the place of Schwartz because Peoples is fast as fuck, and he's bigger.
I thought Schwartz was fast as fuck.
He is, but they're not really using him right now. They just got too many people. They got too many peoples.
Yeah, they do. But your man Landry hurt though. So
Yeah, so I'm saying, so when he comes back, now that Odell's healthy, it's just like, and you run the ball most of the time. How can you
So that's what
possibly
I'm
throw it
saying.
to everybody?
Odell needs a big play, and then also now you tell me Njoku's getting busy, and you still got Hooper. So you got a 2 tight end attack. Odell Beckham needs to make a play this game.
No, I mean, so if I'm the offensive coordinator, what I do is just when we get around the end zone, I'm just throwing it to Odell. He has superior body skills in those situations, and it will keep him happy. You don't have to give him 20 catches; just let him score.
Every time we were down in the green zone, Eli was always looking for Odell anyway. But when we were like 20, 10 in, Odell, I can't even count how many touchdowns that he would get open for. All fades, slants, everything. Everything's open. So
Every part that he can possibly get his fingertips on, even reach out of bounds, is open with this guy. So just utilize him in the. You don't have. You know that these two running backs, you don't have to feed them. You're already feeding them. Like, it already works with 2 of them. They don't care.
but he needs a game where he makes a difference, especially against great competition early, to keep him involved in the season. We're talking now 11 weeks now, to keep him involved and engaged in this season, because even though it really hasn't happened where he's gone off the rails, and he's a little older now and all that in Cleveland, I'm telling you, you can't be that fucking talented and not feel like you're a consistent part of the offense and you're just good with it. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to do what Tom Brady does and be like, listen, now today's Mike Evans' day.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that. Even though they have enough talent that they could, Baker's not that type of quarterback, and that's not that type of offense.
If Tom was on Cleveland, then yeah, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Oh my God, imagine him on that team.
And he's never had a running game like that. Not like that, but I mean, when he's had superior running games, Dylan, my boy Anton Smith,
Super Bowls. Super Bowl. Yeah, him in Cleveland is an instant Super Bowl. I mean, him anywhere is instant Super Bowls, but him in that Cleveland offense with those two running backs.
He just go like this. Here you go. And just throw it when he wants. Oh my God. To Odell? And Njoku would be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it'd be incredible. All right, homie. We will see what happens. This is a week where it's definitely, I'm going to have to wait until Thursday to pick that Thursday game, and then the Sunday games, I'm going to have to do some research on in this one, because
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can,
I'm creeping up. I'm creeping up.
Yeah.
I'm creeping up.
I'm coming for you, lump. I'm coming. Old Mamba mentality. He's gonna strike. He's gonna strike. I'm coiled up right now, but I'm finna strike. I guess. Colton, I know Nice is never gonna pick, but did we lose Harp too?
Yeah, he's been busy. No, it's funny because Colton's just like, who are these people? I don't know who they are.
I love it.
Because
I was like, who the fuck is Lump? Fucking get me every week.
Yeah, he's been getting it. Yo, that week 1, man, I got 5 points in week 1. That is devastating.
Decimated week. I think I got 6. It was stupid.
Yeah. No, but I'm back on track. We all had last week. We all got 9. Everybody got 9. It was a rough week for everybody, but I'm back into double digits.
I mean, it was like a middling week. Yeah,
it was funny because last year I think every week but 1 I was in double digits. It's just there were a couple weeks where I got like 14. And I did a little bit of research this time. It's just that Carolina game, we all missed that shit. It was funny because the ones that we missed, it's like we all missed them.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody always takes a couple calculated risk.
Yeah,
I know what we're doing.
I definitely did that this past week.
I always do. There's always at least 2 where I'll be like, it's a toss-up. We go the opposite of what Carey's going to do.
I know that's definitely why I picked that Jacksonville game. I was like, yeah, I gotta go Jacksonville. And Denver. I was like, I gotta see.
See, that's why I picked. That's 100% why I picked Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I was just like, I already know where he's going with this one. Teddy Two Gloves. I believe in Ben early on in the season. We're still early.
That is true. That's when he gets. That's when he has his powers for the burgers, and the Yinzer fries hit.
The burgers and brazzers.
It's a burgers and brazzers. What a Sunday.
All right, homie. We'll be in touch.
All right, man.
All right, I am going to go hang out with the wolf and eat food.